This Rutgers Report is brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. The Rutgers football team home for Oregon tomorrow night. Earlier this week, the conversation about NIL money or lack thereof was brought up during the weekly Greg Schiano press conference. The head coach quite candid about the lack of funds and what he believes will change going forward with the change in leadership under new AD Kelly Zinn.
Now we have a plan. So leave it at that. I'm not going to get into specifics. There has been no efforts of the level that it takes to play in the Big Ten. I'm not saying that people haven't tried. What it takes to win in the Big Ten, you can't even say it's minusculely close. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. There's not going to be a follow-up. That's it. Will that determine the future? Yes. Will it determine Saturday? No.
And then Saturday will be against the number 8 team in the country in Oregon. Kickoff tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Chris Carlin and Mike Teal will have the call right here on The Fan. Tonight at 7 p.m. at Rutgers, the number 13 men's soccer team plays number 21 Washington. It's 50 in Central Park, and that's the Rutgers Report. I'm Jerry Recco on Sports Radio 101.9 FM, The Fan.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Week 7 in the NFL BT, and we've actually got a spicy, juicy, big matchup on the board with one of the New York football teams. The Giants and the Broncos go at it 4 o'clock tomorrow, and I can't wait. You saw some trash talk on social media. We could get into that last night, but really, to me, this is a big stage now for Jaxson Dart. As the Giants maybe snuck up on the Eagles a week ago, and maybe people overlooking them even after the first win against the Chargers and then losing to the Saints. Now, and it's not just here in New York, I do think you're starting to get the sense that Giants fans feeling themselves, the Giants becoming a little bit more of a national story with the emergence of Dart and Skattebo and all that he brings. And now there is a new expectation. One of that, certainly from the fans and the Giant players themselves, that they expect to compete in what will, I believe, be the toughest matchup they will face all year long in Denver against that defense. But either way, we have a huge game, Week 7, Giants in Denver.
I can't believe I'm saying I can't wait to sit down and watch the Giants play football. I cannot wait. I wish it had more of maybe a national imprint. I remember asking you the other day, like, who's on the game, but I think you said Myers and somebody else, so you kind of get the D team, I think.
No, that was with the Jets.
Right,
this is right. Harlan and Trent Green.
Oh, there you go. Harlan's good. All right, so we'll get some good calls from her. Okay, so I still wish it was like 425. And either way, this is what you crave. This is what you want. This is what you... All the years complaining, and by the way, those complaints were fully justified, calling us up, calling the fan up, tweeting away, hitting send with extra aggression because you're pissed off after another Giants loss. It doesn't guarantee a win this weekend, that's for sure. But it's a different set of emotions, like the season's on, and there's real possibilities, and there's a return to relevance. And I was thinking about this on the way in, and I'm going to say it, even though I hesitate to say it. It's kind of a win-win. Like, even if unless the Giants got dismantled and smoked and obliterated, and God forbid somebody got hurt, and it was just really non-competitive, which I don't think it will be, by the way. And I'm talking like 35-10, 40-13. That's not going to happen. But if it did, that would be different. Even if the Giants lose, like there's still things that they could take away. They're big dogs here for a reason, guys. Everybody has to realize that. But
I don't think fans do.
Huh, interesting.
Well, they were big dogs against the Eagles.
Yeah, but it's different at home. Yeah, maybe it's not.
The energy,
you think Giant fans really, I know they're excited. You think Giant fans think that they're going to win the game?
I do. I think Giant
I'm not feeling that.
I think Giant fans see what Denver did against the Jets last week and think, Denver, this team, come on, they're overrated. Who they beaten, defense is over. Yeah, I really believe that that's the case. And I believe they're in for a rude awakening. However, we're going to find out. We'll find out right now what young Jaxson Dart is capable of. Now, I believe he's a good quarterback. I think he's dangerous as any young quarterback. But going up against that head coach in that building against that team, which I've been saying for weeks is the best team, best defense certainly in the NFL. And I thought 2 weeks ago they were the best team in the AFC. So I've been a believer in Denver. This has nothing to do with just this matchup this week. It has nothing to do with how they looked against the Jets. I believe Denver is a legitimate team and going to be a very difficult matchup. I don't think Giant fans see that the same way. Also, I don't think they care who they're playing because they just dismantled the Eagles, the Super Bowl champion. They're feeling themselves with Jaxson Dart Dart and Skattebo and the defense with Burns and Spider-Man, Kayvon Thibodeau, whatever, sexy deck. So I think the Giant fans are going into this BT not looking at the point spread saying, hey, we've got a chance to beat another good football team and really get our season back on.
Well, I hope so. I don't feel it as much as you do in terms of what the fans are thinking, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. The game's going to happen no matter what. And, of course, Giant fans are excited. I'm just talking about that degree of conviction that they can win. Either way, here's the thing, though. Like, the return to relevance, that always sparks something that we all, it's almost like a drug. It's the sporting drug. It just starts to pulsate through your body, and Giant fans are certainly feeling that. But the difference with this is, with Dart, he's got to be, like the defense, I remember saying this a couple of days ago, the defense is not young. Like, even though they're not old, but it's not like 5 rookies like Dart and Skattebo. They've got a lot of guys who are getting paid a lot of money, who have some years in the NFL, who've done some good things. So to me, if the Giants are going to win, and maybe even deeper than that, just even if it's going to be a competitive 4-quarter, 1-score game, defense has to lead the way.
Agree with that 100%. I don't see a way that the offense carries them here, but we'll find out. It's going to be a fun game. And either way, I said before, there's some spiciness to it. Last night, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, some of the stuff that was going on social media as it pertains to this game. Let's start with a clip here from Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper, who was talking about Jaxson Dart, and Giant fans and Giant players took offense to this. Let's listen to Jonathan Cooper talking about the young Jaxson Dart.
He's a young guy. He's feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something. So but we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have try to do stuff with their legs. So ain't nothing we haven't seen.
All right, so nothing crazy there, but still, you could see how maybe that would rub some people with the Giants and Giant fans the wrong way.
Yeah, and I can see why some Bronco players are, and I appreciate them being, even though, again, that wasn't a hit piece there, I appreciate Bronco players putting their name on this, and some other people jumped in. Kayvon Abdul, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. But to me, if I'm a Broncos player, I'm looking at this rookie, the hair flowing out, the eye black on one eye, I don't know if it's platinum, whatever that chain is, it's sweet. It's probably about a $100,000 piece of jewelry. What other NFL quarterback is wearing something like that, let alone a rookie? So, the Giants now, there's no side doors. There's no, let me sneak up on you. It's a cute little story. That's why we use the word relevance. There's now an awakening. There's an awakening around the NFL. Certainly the Giant fan base is wide awake, but now the rest of the league is starting to say, okay, you think you're feeling it? Come to our house. We'll bring you something. And think about if he said that, which wasn't bad, but if he said what he said there on the record, imagine what they're saying amongst themselves watching film.
Well,
they're looking to destroy Dart.
It does get better. Nick Petito, the best defensive player in the league-leading sack leader, he tweeted, "I've never seen such a delusional fan base," and then deleted it.
Yeah, like a punk move.
Well, I mean,
that's weak. Just keep it up there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just said, who knows? Maybe somebody told him maybe he didn't want to deal with the nonsense or whatever. You know what? I'll let my play go out there and speak for itself. And then you had the Giants chiming in, whether it's Kayvon Thibodeau tweeting some GIFs in response, Abdul Carter as well taking issue with it, talking about like put your 3D glasses on in response to Jonathan Cooper. So there is some spiciness here. And I don't know, and I think we're all going to learn if the Giants are ready for this stage. That's my main point to all of this. The Broncos were a playoff team a year ago. Bo Nix was a rookie last year, and they had success. The Broncos have built off of that. Sean Payton's now in, year 3, building that program up to be a legitimate contender in the AFC. The league's best defense, legitimate players everywhere you look on that field. Even the offense is good. I know it didn't look good against the Jets. Still, they have a good offensive football team and a great defensive football team. They're on another level. The Giants are just entering the chat here with a couple of weeks of success with the 3 starts of Jaxson Dart. But they're talking a big game, and now we're going to get to see it go head-to-head. Can they compete with one of the NFL's best on the road, certainly the NFL's best defense with a rookie quarterback with all this trash talk and little spice there?
I wish this game was at home.
Yeah,
It would sound different. But I tell you, you mentioned the Kayvon GIF, but you didn't say what it was. And listen, I know Abdul Carter hopped in. That's fine. Get your glasses, 3D, whatever. Mm-hmm. Kayvon's GIF it's a masterpiece. It is De Niro in Goodfellas just banging back a heater And, like, I don't know who, he's at the bar and he's looking at somebody and he takes a little drag of the heater. It's like, it's basically like, all right, we've got to go put somebody in the trunk. It's time to deliver the hit. So Kayvon creative, and he's got his guys back. And this is what a young quarterback does. And no disrespect to Daniel Jones, but obviously, and he's doing well this year, but vanilla, bland. I'm not saying the guys wouldn't have his back, but when you have the energy like Jaxson Dart has, now the rest of the locker room is like, okay, now we got a dog coming out of the tunnel. We got his back. We know he's young, but it's just there's a different level of alertness and engagement, which is phenomenal for the future.
Do you think the Broncos think that the Giants are on their level?
No.
Do you think that they take them seriously? Outside of just taking each game seriously, you think they look at them the same way they would an upper echelon team, the Chiefs, whoever it may be?
I don't, but I'll tell you this, because I know they're a buttoned-up, well-coached, good franchise. Yeah. I could promise you when they're in the film room, whether it's the coordinators or even if Peyton rolls in, and certainly their star players, Benito, et cetera, they're saying, guys, listen, if we're not ready, these guys could do some, like, they're looking at Skattebo saying, all right, we got to tighten we got to tighten the pads. Well, Dart, he can run for 75 yards on us, so there's an awareness, but no, they don't look at them like Kansas City.
Right, of course not. Do you think the league does, in general, look at the Giants as one of those? No. Me neither, okay, right? Like, we understand. I don't think that they do either. And we here in New York have seen it. I'm not sure I would put them on that level yet, but I think this is going to be the test. If the Giants, and whether it's Abdul Carter or Thibodeau going out there and tweeting stuff, whether it's them taking issue with anything the Broncos have had to say, now that shouldn't need to be the motivation, but maybe it's going to be. This is a chance for the Giants to show that they are for real and they have arrived. Not just building to get there where next year's going to be the real year, and we talked about that earlier in the week. Now can be the time. If you go show the Broncos, who aren't really taking you that seriously, it's not a knock on Denver. Like, just that, yeah, we think the Giants are dangerous and we think they're good, but come on. Like, we play the Chiefs twice a year. We're in the AFC. We're a playoff team last year. The Giants are 2-4. They haven't seen the playoffs, how many years, 3 years, whatever it's been. So I don't think the Broncos look at the Giants as a big-time threat. I don't think the league still looks at the Giants as a legitimate threat. And I do think that the Giant fans are starting to feel themselves with this team a little bit, and we're going to see which one when the rubber meets the road here come Sunday.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I do think that these tweets now, even if Denver, and they don't look at them like the Chiefs, and they shouldn't.
Correct.
Obviously. But now there's a different level, and I'm use the word alertness again. If Denver was maybe a little vulnerable to kind of sleepwalking into this game because they don't view them like the Chargers or the Chiefs or an upper echelon team, these tweets kind of change that.
Up. This is it.
And I could promise you, forget about the tweets, which are inane and meaningless at the end of the day, but during warm-ups, right around an hour before the game, I could promise you there's going to be some woofing.
Right.
A couple of Giants going to walk over, a couple of the Broncos going to walk over. Might even be a little scuffle here.
We're going to see what they're made of, the Giants.
I love it. It shows some togetherness. It shows some heart. I know the Giants are going to play hard. I hope that they play well. But at the end of the day, what's happening now is the Giants are forging an identity, and it's about time.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Brian is in Northport starting us off. What's up, Brian?
Hey, guys. What's happening? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, bud.
So, I'm doing good. So I think the Giants do look at themselves like a Kansas City or better, and that's the best part. I don't care what anyone else looks at them like. And I think they go into Denver, they smack them in the mouth. I think it's going to be one of these like 17-13 games. I know I'm a Giants fan, so this is exciting.
Yeah.
But if that happens and the Eagles somehow lose to Minnesota, we go into Philly for the first time in 20 years with them fearing us.
See?
And we're probably the favorite.
See, no, but it's a big if. And Brian, I'm not saying you can't hope that. Hey, look, that is possible. That is possible.
It's a big if. I know it's a big if, but I'm a dreamer.
Well, I guess the bigger point, thank you for the call, Brian, the Giants have enabled their fans to dream after that win, after the success that they've had with Jaxson Dart taking over as a starter. But when you start to dream and maybe get out and you're out ahead of yourselves a little bit, you're losing some grasp on reality. Now, look, the reality may be that the Giants do go into Denver and win. And that's what we're saying leading up to this game all week, BT. If they do that, then I don't think anything should be there should be no cap on what the Giants can do this year. I know their record, it's hard to dig out at 2-4. Mm-hmm. I understand all that. But if they could beat Denver, to me, that means they could rattle off, I don't care, 8 in a row, whatever, something like that. That's how impressive of a win that would be. But I don't think Giant fans understand how good Denver is. And I also don't think Giant fans understand that there are some growing pains with a rookie quarterback that are easy to forget after what you saw Thursday night against Philadelphia.
And the Saints game. I mean, there's going to be, there's things where you're going to make some mistakes here, and he's a kid, man. I mean, the speed in which the NFL operates compared to what happens at Ole Miss, it's night and day, and he doesn't look rattled at all, which obviously portends amazing things for the future here. And I talk about the identity that is now blossoming, which is great. And the caller said Giants pride. You never hear Jets pride. Giants pride is a thing, but it's been on hiatus. It's been in a coma. It's been dead. So the pride is awakening now. And think about this, guys. Even if they don't beat Denver but do beat Philly, or do beat Denver and lose to Philly, if they get one of the next two, and by the way, Sal and I are on the air in a week or so. Breaking news: Giants just got Jalen Waddle. Like, there's different levels to this here. We talked about they're aggressive. They're gonna try to get a wide receiver. So this, the possibilities are growing, and it's really number one. It's stunning, quite frankly, but it's awesome.
Ken is calling from Bridgewater. What's up, Ken?
Hey, guys, I just wanted to let you know that the necklace that Dart wears, that's like a good luck charm from a sister. It's not a real expensive one.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much it is, but yes, I was aware that it's his sister's.
Yeah, and just when you guys were talking about, I went to Dick's to try to get a Dart jersey. No Giants stuff there. Jets apparel, 25% off, and it is stock.
That's it? It's a wholesale rack.
Yeah, well,
It's crazy, but I mean,
obviously,
I tried to get one.
There's great excitement. Good luck finding a Dart or a Skattebo jersey. We got. I mean, they're on fire and have been since Jaxson Dart took over. We talked about this being a possibility where there was always I don't know, going to a young quarterback. What's it going to look like? There was the chance that he could ignite the team and the fan base, and he's done just that. Keeping it going against Denver is going to be the toughest task that they will face. And to your point before, BT, if they lose, it's not the worst thing in the world. But then they got to follow it up and beat Philadelphia for the second straight time just to maintain the season, being as far as being relevant as this year goes.
Yep, there's no question. You want to keep the momentum. You don't just want it to be derailed like in one swift 2-week, combined 75 or 70 to 24 combined beatdowns by two good teams, which I don't expect, by the way. And think about this, guys. To become really good, all right? And they're not fully there yet. Everybody knows this, right? We're just in the early stages, and we're enjoying it, and we're hoping it leads to more, and we think it will. But you've got to be a little lucky. And the Giants weren't that far away from taking Shedeur Sanders. Think about that. Like, Shane really liked Sanders more than Dable. And that was, you talk about collaboration, whether it's, Boone and Cashman and the other franchises. That was an incredibly pivotal moment where the general managers have said, all right, I'm going to acquiesce a little bit here, Dave. You want this guy? Take him. And without saying this publicly, your ass is now on the line because now forever Dart is connected to you. So it's saving jobs probably, and it's obviously reigniting the flame within the fan base.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Jimmy is calling from Warren County. What's up, Jimmy?
BT and Sal, what's going on, fellas?
Jim.
What's up, Jimmy?
I'm back. Hey, guys. Coming into this year, you guys have touched on it. We weren't worried about wins and losses. The first goal was to develop our quarterback. I feel like we're on the way to doing that.
Check.
And BT, you just said it. Number 2 for me, Giants pride, and it's coming back. I'm wearing my stuff again, and Denver's talking about us because we just plucked the pigeons, man. The pride is coming back, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's
that's
a huge
big
thing.
deal for
It
the
is.
Giants. It's
Yeah.
not a joke anymore, and it feels good. Win, lose, or draw, they know we're coming in there to play a game, and it wasn't like that for the last few years. And it's got us pumped up,
Yes, we do. And we're jumping in. We're not Giant fans. Jimmy, it's awesome. Thanks for the call there, buddy. Appreciate that. Here, the restoration of the brand is underway. And that is, I've said a lot. Now, of course, the goal is to obviously win a championship. That's the ultimate pinnacle as a fan. But, to me, the early stages, I've said this to you, Sal, to me, it's almost more enjoyable, especially when it's a long, prolonged run of ineptitude, because we've used the word apathetic and other words that basically describe the football mentality for both teams the last decade plus. But when that little spark is ignited and it seems real, not a false spark, by beating a bad team. That's why the fact that the Giants didn't beat the Jets or the Browns or some other dirt team, they beat the Chargers, they beat two good teams, and Philly. And, I do think it's a 4-quarter game. I think that this awakening is more real than not. But it's a step up in weight class Sunday.
I do think a lot of fans, though, and I understand the excitement. I get it. I'm excited, too. I do think they're getting a little out in front of their skis here.
But think about the first thing.
The Broncos are on a different level. Like, it's just simple.
I'm not denying that, but think about the first thing we said to start the show. I didn't feel that from Giant fans the way you did. I feel excitement, but have
you heard the first 3 callers?
But again, they're pumped up. But the last guy said, I don't necessarily expect to win. I think it's more... feeling the moment and understanding that the ascent is upon us here. Now, I'm sure there's some Giant fans who are thinking we're going to score 30 points, that Denver's overrated. That could happen. That wasn't my sense, but either way, it doesn't really matter what we think. It's what this team feels. And Kayvon jumping in, which is great, and Abdul Carter jumping in.
Now they got to go show it.
Here we go. Now the spotlight gets brighter. Let's see what you got.
No, yeah, exactly. Nobody expected them. Most people didn't expect them to beat the Eagles or compete with the Eagles.
I didn't.
Okay.
You did. You actually said they were going to win.
The majority of people did not expect that to be the case.
No.
Even with the Chargers, most people did not expect the Giants were going to win that game. The one game that they thought they were going to win in New Orleans, they ended up losing that game. I think there's a different level of expectation going into this game on Sunday. Giants fans feeling themselves a little bit, understandably so. Just be careful because Denver is a very difficult team. And good news is you do win this, look out. Anything would be possible. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get to the Jets and their huge game. I know it's not a huge game in the standings. Jets need to get a freaking win. So we'll talk about that. Tarek Skubal, potentially a Met. We got that on the table. A jam-packed Friday. Picks later. Nick Costos as well. Just getting started. BT and Sal on the Fan.
This is science. You can't bet against a coach who wears a fishing vest.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
They are a much better defense than I gave them credit for before the season started.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, New Yorkers. Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at TerraOrigin.com.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Don't fumble the ball when it comes to fine jewelry, diamonds, and engagement rings. There's only one choice. It has to be H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Visit hlgross.com.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions. And Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires to keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT's now back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call on this Friday. Jam-packed Friday. We'll get to the Jets. Maybe we'll do the Jets at 10:40. I don't know, BT. Work them in here, 10:40 or 11. Obviously, a lot to get to. The news yesterday from the Post about Tarek Skubal. I can't wait to get into that. And the Mets in the offseason. And by the way, we could even push that to next week. Like, there's a lot there with the baseball stuff.
That's a big story, man.
We left the air yesterday, and then Evan and Tiki had Cashman on. Yeah. They asked him the good questions.
They did a good job. I listened. It was an old school moment here. I sat in the driveway until the end of the interview.
Okay.
They did a good job.
Listening to that, right out of the gate with the A-Rod and Jeter stuff, and Cashman fired back. So there's plenty to get to here. But we want to start with the Giants, which for us is rare, not starting with the Giants, but the fact that we're talking about an actual big game on Sunday. Like, as big a game as you could have in Week 7 for a 2-4 team.
Yep.
But that's where we're at with the Giants here. It's a tough task. I don't know if it's better. I mean, maybe I'll ask you the question. Do you think it's better that they have this tough a challenge now? Or would it be better if they had a softer landing, let's say, to maybe pad another win, get to 3-4, or we find out what they're made of right out of the gate here, going to try to follow up their big win over the Eagles in a difficult spot in Denver?
That's an interesting question. I didn't think you were going there. I would say this. Let's say they were playing the NFC's version of the Jets.
Okay.
Whomever, whomever that is.
Whatever, right.
and it happened to be like a home game. Because they don't know how to win yet, like consistently, and maybe the better way to put it, Giants don't yet know how to handle prosperity.
Right.
Like that's another level of becoming, really good eventually. I think they might actually be potentially more vulnerable playing a bad team than knowing they're going into a buzzsaw against a good team. So I think the Giants mentally will be more sharp going into a game with Denver than potentially a bad team.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that we're going to find out right now what this team is made of here against Denver. And it doesn't mean that if they lose, season's over, because it's not. Then they just have to follow it up and beat the Eagles. But if they win, I think there's more good that could come of this weekend. The way you said it before was win-win. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd say win-win, but I think that there's more good that could come of this weekend than bad. If they get beat and they lose by double digits or whatever, I personally would be like, okay, well, I kind of expected that. So it's no harm, no foul. Now let's see what they can do against Philadelphia here and keep it moving forward. Like, I expected that to happen. If they win, to me, I would be blown away and thinking, oh my God, this team's going to have a legitimate chance here to maybe go mess around and go compete for that division.
Maybe. And the other thing, too, that you get, and we get this in baseball with both of our teams, you start doing a little scoreboard watching if you're a Giants fan here. That goes into, how we started the show, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, about, all right, things are changing here for the Giants based on what's happening in the NFC East here. Eagles and Philly. Philly's favored, but that's flip a coin. Eagles in Minnesota. I knew that. Eagles in Minnesota and the Commanders Cowboys.
Right, so
one of those teams losing.
Yeah.
Maybe two if the Eagles lose in Minnesota.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Nick is calling from Woodbridge. What's up, Nick?
Hello, Nick.
BT and Sal, how are we doing?
Good, Nick. We're fired up.
This Giants team has got me geeking. We're going to Mile High, and we're putting belt to ass on these Broncos.
Oh, he's ready. A little Mile High club, huh?
That's what the comments were last night on social media, man. I liked it.
Yeah.
These Broncos players are talking about Jaxson Dart. He's dancing. He's shining. They've got these other fans dancing in their living rooms. Everyone's ready to watch this team prosper and be great.
I got to tell you there, Nick, I think you encapsulate a lot, and thanks for the call. Belt to ass is really one of my favorite expressions that's just not used enough. You know why?
Because it happened?
Well, because my dad used to grab the belt. So, not that he really used him. I used to run away from him.
I don't remember getting hit, but I do have vivid memories of him either taking the belt off or having a belt that was loose. And snapping it, pulling it together.
Snapping it like you're a cow or something? I know that noise.
Yeah, exactly.
That whippy,
snapping it together like...
here's what's coming if you don't wake up, son. Yes, I used to run from my dad and literally not too often, but lock myself in the bathroom when he would reach for the belt, which was fairly infrequent. But the thing about the belt, back then, again, I'm born in the 70s, you're early 70s, you're late 70s. The belts in the 70s and early 80s were monstrosities. Yeah. They weren't these little feminine skinny belts like today. They were like WWF.
Metrosexual, I think is the proper term.
Whatever it is. Yeah. They were like, Bob Backlund championship belt size. No, they were thick as hell. So belt to ass, I love that. That's good.
That's what I saw some of the trash talk last night going back and forth on social media. I actually couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a second, is this AI?
Is this real? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was real with Cooper. I wouldn't even say taking a shot, but just like kind of, come on, man. He's a rookie quarterback dancing out there with his chain. Like, we're going to put him in his place. Benito with the tweet, calling out the Giants fan base. It shows you the new world with these young players now on social media and on X and going back and forth or hearing the noise from the fans. And then once you start taking shots like that at a fan base, what do you think the Giant fans are going to do? They're not going to sit back.
No.
Like, hey, we're coming for you. We're going to put those belts to the asses. Come, at Mile High State, whatever it may be. So and then the Giants players themselves fighting back in it with Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau. So that to me adds another layer of spice to it, which I love.
And me too. And by the way, so the belt to ass, that was dad. Was mom wooden spoon to fingers?
Yeah. No, mom to
Your mom didn't grab the spoon?
No, grandmother, yes. Mom to me was more protector. Actually, grandmother not to me, more to like I heard the stories about grandma would get the wood spoon out and threaten her kids, my parents, man. But no, my mother to me was protector.
Oh, no, me too. But that didn't mean, and she would grab that spoon like a ninja. Now, it doesn't mean that she didn't grab it a couple of times, but no, she was definitely the protector. Thank God, because I was running away for the belt.
John is calling in Danbury, Connecticut. What's up, John?
Johnny?
What's up, boys? Thanks for taking the call.
Got it.
I think part of the positivity that Giants fans have this weekend is just looking at the past performance of Denver. Like, all the Jets needed to do is just get one first down to kick a field goal, and that game was over. So I think we have a lot of positivity rolling.
But that's a mistake, though, John. You can't judge Denver on that game against the Jets. It's just not right.
I mean, it was situational. I get it. You're going to a completely different country, halfway across the world. I get that. But still, that was supposed to be Denver's get-right game. That was supposed to be a blowout. And the Jets kept it
Get
very
right from
close.
what? Get right from what? They just beat the Eagles the day before. They got the best defense in the NFL. Here's all I'm saying, John. I think if you evaluate the Broncos based off of what you saw against the Jets, and I understand why a lot of people in New York would, because that's a game that they watched, you're making a mistake. That's not the team that they are. They are the best defensive team in the NFL. They wreak havoc, and they've got weapons offensively all over the field. It doesn't mean the Giants can't win. I'm just saying that what you saw against the Jets was not a proper representation of who Denver is.
And that's a fair point. I'll give you that. But still, you're a product of your actions. And their actions last Sunday were not great. And that's plain and simple. And I know they're at home. It's a different situation. You got the home crowd behind them. And that's fine. But I think this game is going to be a battle in the trenches. And I have to say, I've never been a huge Skattebo fan. He has actually stepped it up this year, and I am becoming a fan of his.
He's been really
and
good.
I think
Kayvon's been balling. There's no doubt. Go ahead, finish up.
With Burns and Carter around him, I think these guys are thriving together, and all they need to do is just smack Bo Nix in the mouth once, and he's not going to want to have that contact. He's not a big dude.
Nobody's tough. I mean, Bo Nix is tough.
And he's quick.
Yeah, he could throw the ball down. Now, he's not elite, and thank you for the call. We appreciate you checking in. But Bo Nix is not some overwhelmed rookie quarterback that's going to get hit and isn't tough. Bo Nix is a tough SOB.
Yes, he is.
There's a reason Sean Payton drafted him. There's a reason he was able to lead his team as a rookie to the postseason against all odds. I'm telling you, man, Denver's dangerous. Again, doesn't mean that they can't lose the game. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. What you saw a week ago against the Jets, now defensively they were very good, but what you saw a week ago against the Jets was not the proper representation of who Denver is.
No, I also think it's kind of a waste of time to and I'm not saying I've never done this before, but you look at one team.
Yeah.
How did they almost lost to the Tennessee Titans, and then you see in the next, and it's totally different.
Correct.
That's why gambling is hard. That's why the NFL, for the most part, is a bit of a crapshoot. There's a lot of parity. I know we use that word a lot, but I do think it applies here. Look at the Bengals last night.
Bingo. You just took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly. They go Joe Flacco going up against Steelers defense, and he lit them up. Who would have thought that they would have won that game? So you don't know week to week, which is why I think the Giants have a chance here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Denver is not. If Denver played either a better game or any other team than the Jets last week, I don't think it would be the same feeling because it happened on a national stage in London against a local team. I think Giant fans look at that and say, Denver, they barely beat the Jets. The Jets should have won that game. We could beat this team. And that's all I'm saying is that's not the case.
Yeah, the only thing about Denver, and I certainly realize they're very good and, viable to go deep in the AFC, they're, if I look, and I know it's kind of fluid because it seems to change week to week here, I guess the ceiling of Denver's offense, while I know it's not bad, I don't think it's going to be prolific at all this year. So if I look at Denver and I say, all right, whether it's Kansas City, hell, whether it's the Giants this week or any other team, the Chargers that you perceive, the Bills if they get their act together, the Patriots if they're for real, the good teams in the AFC, if I push this ahead 3-4 months and say, all right, can Denver lose a playoff game? Yeah, because I think that there's a chance that Denver could have a dud where they score 13 or 17 points. Whereas for me, I look at the other 2, 3, 4 top teams that I perceive to be elite in the NFL. I think their offensive ceiling is higher, which is why I think the Giants could hang around this week.
But Denver's defense is better.
Denver's defense is terrific.
But then it's an argument of what you value more, defense or the offense. And by the way, Denver's 2 losses, they lost a tight game, last second field goal to the Chargers.
Yep.
And they got hosed on a bad call against the Colts where they should have beaten Indianapolis.
And both were on the road, by the way, those games.
Yeah, so now I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying, they arguably could be 6-0. And now they could have lost to the Jets, too, so I don't want to play that game. I'm just saying that they lost to 2 good teams on the road in very tight games down to the final second. Renato calling from Utica, New York. What's up, Renato?
Hey, BT and Sal, you guys rule. Love your show. Listen to it every day on the YouTube when I'm at work. Just a thing on Jaxson Dart. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be tremendous. I think there's going to be growing pains, and I plead for the Giants fan base to give him leeway because Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his first year. If Jaxson Dart did that, they'd want to run him out of town. Baker struggled in Cleveland. They ran him out of town. Bryce Young got benched. Let this kid develop. He'll be great. But he will struggle and that's okay. And let's give him some leeway and go Big Blue. Thank you guys for all you do.
You got it, man. No, thanks for calling us. What we do, we just talk sports. You guys make the show in a lot of ways. All right, so listen, he's right. It's very sensible. It's a very measured call. You've got to understand there's going to be some steep valleys for a young quarterback. You referenced Peyton. Bradshaw was horrendous early. We know the names, right? I don't think it's ever going to be here in this city with either team where there's rational approach enough to insulate a young quarterback from playing bad for a long time.
I don't know if that's the case anywhere in the NFL. But
less here.
Yeah, definitely less here. But in today's world, everywhere, everybody wants everything now and immediate. That's just how it is. In the old days, you could have a rookie sit for 2-3 years, whatever it may be, before you have him go out there. You could certainly have him sit for a full season. You could live with the growing pains of a rookie if he is going to start. Now it's like there would have been the same way that we're reacting and deciding that Jaxson Dart is already him. Now we're deciding that after 3 starts. Think about that. If it were 3 starts the other way and he was fumbling the football and throwing picks all over the place, it'd be, this guy stinks. They got to draft a quarterback. And it shouldn't be like that. I understand fans are irrational. I am one. So we understand that. There's a part of that it's fun to be irrational at times. However, the overreaction to a small sample size can get out of control. I think Jaxson Dart's going to be fine. I love his moxie. I love the makeup. I still need to see a little bit more. Like, it's 3 starts in the NFL.
It's early, man. The other thing, too, though, that adds to this heightened hope is that the Giants have been down for so long. Like, I'm sure there's an element of this up in New England with Drake May.
Yeah.
And he's actually really good. He seems to be the real deal. But when you've won and you go through a little lean period, there's less desperation from the fan base, which maybe there's a little more willingness to tolerate some rookie missteps. Whereas with the Giants and, of course, the Jets as well, it's been so miserable for so long. When everybody jumps back in emotionally, full blown, I'm back as a fan, it tends to go overboard.
WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. More of your calls when we come back. We'll get to the Jets coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll do a little Mets maybe later on, but Jets at 11. And we'll continue with the Giants stuff here ahead of their huge matchup with the Broncos. 888-808-1019. Stop dealing with your neck pain, backaches, sciatica, and go to Dr. J. Shah at Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same-day and next-day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
It's been so many years since the Giants fans. This is just a fan thing. This isn't a team, with construction or anything like that, and performance. The fans can come to Giants Stadium and leave us that.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sunday, I'll start watching early to see the Rams and Jaguars, 2 4-2 contenders, go at it. Should be fun from London. Then during normal viewing hours, Denver's defense will provide a big challenge for Giants rookie Jaxson Dart. Minnesota hosting Philadelphia is one of my upset specials, by the way. Indianapolis is on the road, and I picked them to win over the Chargers, and Dallas at home against the Washington Commanders. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metrics score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person receiving the deal. Additional terms apply.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why rewards members get free standard shipping on what they need to get the job done. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone. Lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's cross-climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin cross-climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Everybody says she's looking good. And the lady knows it's understood. Strut
BT and Sal back on The Fan. fan. Big game for Big Blue coming up on Sunday, 4 o'clock. We'll get to the Jets coming up in a little bit. Maybe some of the baseball as well with some of the news yesterday from John Heyman talking about Tarek Skubal and the disparity in contract talk with the Tigers, which would then lead you to think that maybe he's going to be available. So there's a lot there. You know, Frank from Rails BT, he's texted me. He's a big Giant fan.
He's back in with his G-men.
Well, yeah, and he just wants, like, the feeling that we have is just a bright future. The same old stuff is over. So he still doesn't have great expectations to win, but at least the same old stuff is over. That I can agree with. Like, I think definitively, when we said this earlier in the week, we might have even said this before last week, like, whatever the Giants were before, that's gone. Doesn't mean they're going to go out there and win the majority of their games moving forward. Doesn't mean they're going to the playoffs. But the same old, like, non-competitive football, that is gone for good. And just the fact that we actually have a game to look forward to that means something. The game. How many times with the Giants and Jets for the last however many years is it about who's going to be the coach? Oh, the quarterback, this or that. Draft somebody. They got to fire this guy. They should hire the next guy. I can't believe it's been bad. I mean, I don't even know if you and I, since we've been together, have actually talked about a meaningful football game leading into a game, especially in Week 7, but maybe period.
No, I think the highlight of our football conversations was the crazy unkillable speech. That's the last time there was any real meaning if you think about it.
Before that, we were excited about the season, but it wasn't. It was a Week 1 game, and then after that,
yeah. I think that. Do we have to talk about the Jets today later?
Yeah, we got to get into Rutgers. Two former Jet quarterbacks.
4 touchdowns. And Flacco. I think that anytime, Sal, you have a young, talented, particularly if he's athletic, a young quarterback like that, nothing pumps oxygen into the lungs of a fan base like that quarterback that I just described. It makes the head coach look better, which alleviates the tension and the pressure and the vitriol for, whether it's calls or on social media. Fire this guy, as you said. It clarifies the what you need to do on the draft board, because if you have a quarterback, you don't need to go get one, so you can build out the rest of the team. And I said to Sal first few minutes of the show, if you guys missed it, free Odyssey app, obviously go check it out, hit rewind. I said, think about how this has changed from firing Dable and whatever to, hey, maybe you and I are on the air, and there's breaking news that the Giants just went out and got a top receiver in a week or two before the November 2. I do too.
I don't know who it's going to be. I mean, I'd love it to be Jalen Waddle. I think that would be the home run. I don't know who it's going to be. I expect it to be somebody impactful. I don't think it's just going to be, here's a guy that was good once and maybe has something left. Even a Devontae Adams types who the Jets got later. Like, I think to be bigger than that for the Giants. I expect that to happen.
I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. Now, if they get waxed on Sunday and waxed against the Eagles, does that maybe recalibrate what the franchise is thinking? It could. But for me, it shouldn't, because you still need somebody for Jaxson Dart to throw to who can win one-on-one. And listen, Wan'Dale Robinson's looked better, and they're going to run the ball a little bit here. And as long as Andrew Thomas is healthy, that's good. But to me, even if you do lose both, go get the kid receiver so he could just learn the game, really, quite frankly.
Will is calling from Dover, New Jersey. What's up, Will?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, on that topic, I was against the Eagles. Jalen Hyatt actually made some really, really good catches, I thought. And I like the way he was running routes hard. And, without Malik Neighbors in the lineup, that's a real athletic guy that the Giants have. Might be able to get creative, get him the ball, get him some space to work. And that could cause some problems against Denver, maybe create a little chaos that the Giants can take advantage of.
All due respect, I think the only problems Jalen Hyatt's going to cause are for the Giants. I don't think he's very good. He's got no physicality whatsoever. I know he's a speed guy. I just don't trust him to hang on to the ball. I know they're desperate and they need something from him. I don't think Jalen Hyatt is very good at all.
If Jalen Hyatt didn't do much, and thanks for the call there, Will, if Jalen Hyatt couldn't do much with Malik Neighbors on the football field, you think he's going to do much without him?
Yeah, and come on.
No, Jalen Hyatt was a bad draft pick.
See, this is the type, we talked about it, where the Giants could go beat the Eagles with little Jordan Humphrey being the main guy or whatever. I'm joking around about him because it's a fun name, but without Malik Neighbors. This is a game Sunday that they're going to miss Malik Neighbors, because you're going against an elite defense with big-time playmakers all over the field. You need Malik Neighbors to help you out. There's no, who's the Giants' best receiver going into this game?
Robinson.
Yeah, okay. Patrick Surtain he's the best corner in the game. So now I don't know how he's going to play. Is he going to be on Robinson the whole time? Whatever it may be. But point is, nobody's going to get the best of Surtain. That would be a great matchup with Neighbors and Surtain. Nobody else can even match that. So when you're going up against a great defense like Denver, that's where it's going to show where you miss having a top receiver. And I don't think Jalen Hyatt's good, period, but certainly not against this defense.
Yeah, you'll need some tight end involvement for sure, and you'll need, I would, and just throwing this out there, probably Dart to run for maybe 2 first downs. I don't need a 70-yard run. That would be nice, but just keep the sticks moving, keep the Giants offense on the field, some tight end involvement, as I said. Robinson played pretty well, and Skattebo.
Well, that's how the Giants have had most of their success, with Dart running the football. And I don't think that's going to be there to the level that it's been in the last 3 weeks against Denver.
I don't know. I know why you would say that.
Well, that's going to be, to me, the key of the game. If he can't run the football, they're done. Because they're not going to be able to throw it on Denver either. So
I still don't think that they're done, because I don't think Denver's scoring 30 points on them. I'd be less inclined to say the Giants would win.
Right.
But even if they neutralize him in terms of the run with Dart, I still think there's a puncher's chance they can muck it up a little bit and at least hang around, maybe not win, but hang around in ugly stuff.
Understood. Defensive game, yes. I'm just talking about offensively.
I got you.
If he doesn't run, if Dart doesn't run the football, I don't know how the Giants are going to have success offensively.
Well, that's the conventional way to say that the Giants would win. So I know what you mean here. And by the way, what was the stat that Boomer said this morning coming in? Something along it was Lamar Jackson and maybe Mahomes, young Mahomes, where only 2 other, and Dart's now in the group, have run for 50 or 60 yards in a game, and I don't know, X amount of touchdowns and X amount of passing yards. It's an impressive stat. The other 2 names were pretty good names.
BT and Sal on the Fan will continue with the Giants calls, also work into the Jets when we come back.
It's John Boy Media's Talking Yanks, the show for real Yankee fans who live and breathe pinstripes. John Boy and Jake bring you the latest Yankees news, moves, and takes all year long, from spring training to the postseason and everything in between. Powered by WFAN and John Boy Media. Tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers, and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled
the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Make the smart choice. The Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling, there's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease yours for $229 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
listen up, everybody. A few weeks ago, the Elevate team sent me some of their hydrogen-infused super water, and now I can't stop drinking it. Better workouts, more energy, quicker recovery, deeper sleep. So take my word, it's backed by science. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you just got to try it to believe it. So here's what you can do. Go to drinkelevate.com. Put in my code word, Boomer50. That's Boomer50 and get 50% off your first order, and shipping is 100% free. Order now before this offer ends. You'll thank me later, I promise.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11:01. I'm Chris Lopresti. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. Also sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Adventure meets luxury in the new Lexus GX from Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. With bold design and spacious comfort, it's ready to take you anywhere. Discover your new GX at Ray Cattina Lexus. Yankees GM Brian Cashman clapping back at TV criticism from a couple of former Yanks and Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter. Of course, in the wake of being eliminated by the Blue Jays in the division series. Cashman telling our afternoon show with Evan and Morash on Thursday.
You get picked to win the World Series on Fox, and then you get slaughtered, 48 hours later by Fox, by the same people that they played here. And, A-Rod had a great career. He punched through with one championship, and, Derek has a lot more than that. And, they're obviously respected people, but doesn't mean their opinions are always correct every time they throw them.
Cashman added that he called Jeter directly to emphasize Aaron Boone is not told what to do by the front office in terms of lineups, handling his pitching staff, or any in-game decisions. Dodgers go for an NLCS sweep of the Brewers tonight in L.A. They'll have Shohei Ohtani on the mound shortly after 8:30. Prior to that, Game 5 between the aforementioned Blue Jays and the Mariners out in Seattle, with the ALCS now tied at 2 apiece. Kevin Gausman opposed by Bryce Miller shortly after 6 o'clock. And NFL Week 7 opened with a duel of quarterbacks in their 40s. Joe Flacco's Bengals edging Aaron Rodgers' Steelers 33-31 on a late Evan McPherson field goal. Fan weather sponsored by the United Healthcare Medical Store in Jackson Heights. We've got 55 degrees, mostly sunny skies in Central Park. And with Sports Flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. As for the New York Jets, just looking this up, BT, in 1, 2, 3 years with the Jets, Joe Flacco won, I believe, if my math is correct, let's see, carried this over 3 years. He won 1 game with the New York Jets in 3 years.
And by the way, not only did he really not win, if I have this right, and I should have double-checked, I know you were going to start there, but with Flacco with the wins. His last game as a Jet, I believe, was down in Miami. And I remember, and it was a loss, and I remember really being bothered by that because Joe Flacco's kids were wearing Dolphin jerseys on the field.
I heard Jerry mention that today. I don't remember that.
Oh, did he mention that?
I heard him mention that. I kind of caught it in the middle, but yes, now you're saying that. So Joe Flacco beat the Packers with the Browns this year at age 40, and then he beats the Steelers last night with the Bengals in his second week with the team. And not to mention you have Aaron Rodgers, who's lighting the league up, throwing the touchdown passes left and right. The problem's the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't want to hear. I was arguing with somebody yesterday about it.
What the hell is there to argue? What was their pushback?
Well, I'm not going to get into the whole details. I can say a little bit off the air. It wasn't a big deal. But just, like, my thing is, it's not... There's a thought, and we've had this argument about Aaron Glenn. A lot of people are upset about Aaron Glenn. Here's Glenn's problem. You know what Glenn's problem is?
He coaches the Jets.
It's the...
Yes,
well,
I do.
Yes, that is one. Glenn has the Mangini syndrome. Mangini was the Belichick disciple, and he believed that is the way that he's going to do things, hell or high water. That's how he treats people in the building. That's how he treats the reporter, everything. Mangini is Belichick or a Belichick disciple, and that's how he goes about things. The problem is he didn't have the winning or the cachet that Belichick did, so then that act wears thin immediately, especially in New York, and that's why he's out, okay? Aaron Glenn is Bill Parcells, and he believes in that way. So whether it's the way he's around the building, whatever it may be, in his mind, he saw Parcells have success. He knows it's not the right way to do it, so he's going to do that. The problem is, without the record or cachet to back it up, and you start 0-6, it's going to be a problem. You're going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but that to me is the singular problem with Aaron Glenn. I believe he knows how to coach football, and I believe he'll be fine once he actually starts win a game, get people off your back. But yeah, I think it's more about the Jets and their dysfunction as an organization than it is about the ineptitude of, in this particular case, Aaron Glenn.
They destroy young quarterbacks. They destroy old quarterbacks, or at least limit old quarterbacks like Flacco, like Rodgers. They destroy coaches like Todd Bowles and others. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot here. Listen, the Mangini-Belichick thing is interesting. Remember we had Tony Richardson in studio?
Yeah.
And we were talking on and off the air, and I don't know if he said this on the air, but he talked about Mangini on the air, but this particular aspect, he said, this guy should still be coaching. And you and I both believe that about Mangini. I think his brain is very fertile, but, he never really was himself, and he was trying to be somebody else, and that doesn't work. And Tony told us that he'd be walking in the hallway. I guess they were still in Hofstra at this point. Yeah, and Mangini would walk by, ignore him, put his head down. Like, you're a first or a second-year coach at that point, and you're walking past one of the best fullbacks in the history of football without even showing a modicum of respect? Like, that ain't working.
All right, so
now, Glenn's not doing that, though.
Do you know that?
I don't, but I believe strongly that Aaron Glenn is the kind of guy, now he's hard on the practice field.
He did it with Rodgers.
I get it. He just didn't want him, though. I believe that the guys are and that's another discussion, wrong move, but I think the guys in the building and that he believes in and wants to cultivate this new Jet existence. I'm not saying he's walking by and giving him an absolute dap, but he's like, I could see Aaron Glenn being I could just hear it like, all right, young buck, let's go. Whether it's the weight room, whether it's on the practice field. Now, he's going to light into you. He's going to bring a little belt to S. But I do not believe he's pulling that Mangini stuff. And if he is, there's no way he's doing that.
I think that it might be happening. Now, again, I don't know to what level, but I think that his demeanor can be potentially rubbing some people the wrong way. And I don't know about the exact stuff with the locker room, but, you're hearing some rumblings about how he didn't go to Tyrod Taylor, and some guys in the locker room were upset about that. Like, I would not have made the quarterback change. I'm on record as saying that. It seems the majority of people would have.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to get the sense, too, that Glenn's act, I don't even want to say act because it's him being real, is wearing thin on some people, potentially some of the players as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, but I still think he's got to be himself. He just needs to win, which brings us to the game. Like, they've got to win this week. I don't want to hear the excuses.
They're not.
I think they are going to beat the
Yeah,
Panthers.
you said this. I don't think they're winning without Garrett Wilson.
I think they're winning.
How they scoring?
They'll figure out. They got to run the football. No, run the football.
They scoring offensively.
Breece Hall and Justin Fields run the football. That's how they got to do it. Run the football, keep it away from the Panthers, play some decent defense. Maybe the defense actually gets another turnover here. I think the Jets are winning this football game. I firmly believe that. We can get to the picks later on, but I think the Jets are going to win this football game and just calm everything down. They desperately need that to be the case, though, because otherwise I think it's going to get to a point where it's just going to continue. It's going to get so loud, it might be impossible for Aaron Glenn to work his way out of it. I don't think he's getting fired, but I don't think he'll ever recover from that type of start.
And just to underscore the importance of winning the game, whether I think they will or don't, I hope they do. I just don't think that they will. It's not about, oh, wow, if the Jets can beat Carolina, well, then maybe they could strike. Although now suddenly the Bengals game looks a little tougher than it did maybe 2 weeks ago. But, then maybe you beat the Bengals. No, the Jets are going nowhere this year. They're going to be picking top 3 in the draft. We all know that. But to your point, it's about quieting the noise.
Oh, God, they need a win.
It's about, yes, they do. It's about Aaron's messaging in the locker room resonating now. Hey, you see what happens when we do this and that? We won. Back to the Taylor thing real quick, though. That's a football. If there are guys in the locker room, and I can see why there would be that want to Tyrod to get in there, maybe try to steal a game with a drive late, but that's a football thing. I think with Mangini and some others who don't connect to the soul of the locker room, I think that's a personality thing. I don't think Aaron's got any issue with person. You even hear, I heard Q coming in today. Jerry was playing the sound. He's like, yeah, we got to get one for AG, man.
Yeah.
Be nice to get AG his first win. Like, that tells me that they're connected to him from a personality point of view.
Well, he's definitely more relatable than Mangini was. That's without a question.
Mangini was like a robot, man.
Understood, but if you're walking around the building with let's just say, the know-it-all attitude of Parcells. When Parcells comes in, he does know it all because he's a Super Bowl champion.
But was he like that when he was on Sims early, like that first year when he had 3 wins? I don't know what the early version of, because I didn't watch that team. I don't know what the early version of Bill was.
But the way that I would say is the way that Mangini did it from being a Belichick disciple. Okay, you watched Bill do it all those years. Well, that's how I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that, and that can rub people the wrong way. And if Aaron Glenn is walking around like that when he's 0-6 and being, like a know-it-all. Now, I do think he knows more than everybody else, so I'm okay with that. I don't think Glenn's the problem. I think it's everything else. If people are sensitive to his quote-unquote know-it-all attitude, I think it's on them. Same way that these same people were sensitive to Aaron Rodgers and his know-it-all attitude. I mean, goodness gracious, the guy won 4 MVPs and won a Super Bowl. What does he know? He's got to be the problem. That's kind of my point. Like, oh, it's Rodgers. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's got the wrong attitude. It's not us. It's Aaron Rodgers. Wrong. Oh, it must be Todd Bowles, or it must be Mangini, or it must be Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson. Wrong.
Gino.
Like go on and whoever. Salah. Like, it can't be all of them who, by the way, the majority of them go on to have some success elsewhere.
Yeah, they do. You know what's funny, too? All the different, whether the coaches, the quarterbacks, the things we just ran through, most Jet cast-offs / failures that we just mentioned do very well elsewhere. You know who doesn't? The GMs. Idzik, Joe Douglas,
well, they hired bad GMs.
And that's really the origin. Yeah. And there's a couple of others, obviously, we're just glossing over here. Tannenbaum got a shot with Miami, but because he actually did good things here and got to 2 championship games. But I think the least, for me, the least of my worries with Aaron Glenn, I mean, literally dead last on the list, kind of like the Jets, the standings, is whether or not the guys still believe in him or feel him or a connectivity. It's the players. It's the other stuff. I think AG's fine in that locker room.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Bill is calling from Long Island about his Giants. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Great show.
Thanks.
You guys compliment each other really well. 3 quick Giant points if we have time at Jets point. One, I made it to saying the other day, a good quarterback elevates his side of the ball. A great quarterback elevates both sides of the ball. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. Because your defense is on the field less. 100%. There's a lot of, what's the word, like downstream residual advantages. Absolutely.
All right. You see the way that, when was the last time I saw Giants defensive guys on the bench whipping up the crowd like they were in the last game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as opposed to Jets looking pistol whip when they walked off the field each week, right? the defense. The other point is, and I'm not comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, saying he is Aaron Rodgers, but does he remind you of a young Aaron Rodgers, Jaxson Dart, with his scrambling ability and the touch that he has on the ball?
No, not at all. And thank you for the call, Bill. I don't, never once did I look at Jaxson Dart and ever think Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers wasn't that run. Aaron Rodgers, I would argue, is the most skilled quarterback, certainly that I've ever seen and possibly of all time, with his ability to throw precision passes deep down the field, his quickness, escapability, mobility, ability to read the defense, not make mistakes. Like Aaron Rodgers to me was the perfect complement. I would always say Manning to me was the best pure like quarterback reader of the defenses. Brady was the greatest winning quarterback that I've ever seen. Now this was before Mahomes came on. Rodgers was the perfect storm of everything. A great competitor, all the talent in the world, a better athlete than those other two guys. Now Mahomes maybe surpasses him in that regard because he just does things on the football field that are unseen and unheard of. But I don't see any, me personally, I don't see any Aaron Rodgers and Jaxson Dart.
Think about a factory, right? And your whatever product is being built there. You've got the conveyor belt, right? Like, and when he went to the quarterback factory, he basically got everything.
Yeah.
He got the mind, he's got the zip, he's got the accuracy, he's got the athleticism. I remember saying years ago with Tiki what you just said. I believe he's the most talented quarterback that's ever walked the earth. Right. Now, others are more accomplished, whatever. But think about Peyton Manning. Slow as hell.
Right.
And Peyton didn't have an electric arm. Now, his mind was like a Jedi. His placement was incredible. His ability to manipulate, phenomenal. But Peyton was not an amazing athlete. Same with Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady had more zip than Peyton, but he, too, was very immobile. Now, he knew... What Brady did, and Peyton too, but what Brady did, I think, better than anybody, is that he negotiated the pocket. So when Tom Brady, we all saw the way he looked at his combine, scrawny, not a muscle on him, ran like a 5.2 40, whatever the heck it was. But what he was great at was in short space, a step here, a step up there, a little twist here. He can extend the pocket for another second, which gets his guy open. So I believe he was brilliant at that. And then somebody like Joe Montana, Joe was smallish, and Joe didn't have a rocket either. Joe was more placement. So that's just kind of me throwing a few names on the table. I agree. Rodgers most talented ever.
I'm trying to think. You have a comp for Jaxson Dart? I really don't know.
I don't think the Mahomes one is terrible, myself. I don't. I've heard that. See, I don't think Rodgers when I think Dart, and I almost hate to do this to the kid. Here I am, 3 starts in saying he looks like Mahomes. I don't want to be that guy, but if I'm asked the question, I'll give you a comp. He's not like Burrow.
Yeah, we've talked about Josh Allen, but
Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Bit. I mean, if anything, to me, it's more. I think he's a better thrower at this point in his career than Lamar was when he first started out, and not as good of a runner. But that to me is a similar comp. A little Josh Allen in that he's fearless and reckless at times.
No
Allen
doubt.
was like that early on.
Yep, but Allen's also 6'5", 245, and 6'2" for 225 for Dart.
Different body type, bigger arm. So that's not a great comp. Lamar Jackson is a much faster runner. So I think Jackson's a more skilled runner than Dart, but I think that would, to me, be the closest comp as far as their games go. The RPO on the field, not to me the greatest thrower, at least not yet. I'm not saying he can't improve on that, and Jackson was not a good thrower, especially early on. I don't know. I think Dart is a guy to me that is maybe creating his own path here.
I think what Dart is, and this starts at a very early age, especially in like these hot states, these hotbeds. Not a little bit New Jersey too, but when I say the hotbeds, I'm talking about Florida, Texas, California, Georgia, some other pockets around the country where you look at youth football, and some of these kids don't even start playing tackle, which is not a bad thing, by the way, for safety, until they're a little bit older. They start with 7-on-7 flag football, very elaborate passing concepts. And generally, when you start playing, when you're 7-8, who's playing quarterback? The best athlete.
Right.
And when you have that and you're throwing the ball from the age of 7, 8, 9, and guys are open, three to the left, and all these other things, you're really throwing. Now, by the time you get to high school, you're not Peyton. You're not a quarterback who's immobile, who's a one-trick pony. You are a dynamic quarterback, and I don't know who he compares to, but I'll say this, he's dynamic.
One guy that he reminds me of in only leadership and fiery competitiveness is Matt Ryan, who I think Matt Ryan should be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he will be. But Ryan was a fiery competitor right from the get-go. He was an elevator. helping his teammates, a leader like that. Now, totally different skill set.
Very different.
But that element, Jaxson Dart reminds me of a cooler version of Matt Ryan.
I like Matt Ryan. I've always told you that.
Yeah.
Love him, actually.
I love Matt Ryan. To me, that's
your guy?
Well, that's a great compliment to pay Jaxson Dart. In the leadership skill department, I think he's just got that it factor. But his skill set, to me, is unique. We've seen guys be great runners. We've seen guys be great throwers. Guys that young in this town to have that skill set plus leadership ability, I think that's what's made them special here so far through 3 games. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you could always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Rogers in Comac wants to rip the Jets. What's up, Roger?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, Raj.
So I don't know if I'm so much wanting to rip the Jets, but listen, we gotta start looking at the bigger problem here. You see, I think the problem here is with the Jets ownership. I mean, that's the common denominator. You look at Todd Bowles. We were convinced that guy was in over his head. He didn't know what he was doing. He had the top pick in Sam Darnold and still couldn't win. Then, something's got to be going on behind the scenes. I'm not trying to promote conspiracy theories here, but maybe Woody is sticking his nose in places that it doesn't belong. I mean, look at Belichick. What was he? He was on for a couple minutes before he resigned as head coach of this team. Maybe he was on to something there. Now, let's get back to Glenn. Let's not pretend like Aaron Glenn walked into a world beater. This team was a disaster last year under Sal and Ulbrich. What we're witnessing is the continuation of that disaster. It's not the optimal situation for a brand new head coach with no miles on the engine.
Yep.
I remember Zach Taylor. He looked lost before Joe Burrow saved his skin in year 2. Let's stop asking Glenn to play musical chairs with his quarterback room. I mean, Tyrod, he ain't the most durable QB in this league. Lose Tyrod, and what does Glenn have left? Brady Cook? Are you kidding me? Give the guy a break, grow a pair, and point the finger at the one hiding in the owner's box. That's Woody. You're a disgrace. So the team go off living off the hard work of your daddy and the Johnson family.
A little personal.
So much for not wanting to bash the Jets, Roger.
Yeah, I'm going to rip your dad while I'm at it as well, not just you.
I don't really want to bash the Jets, and he takes a blowtorch to the entire organization, specifically the owner's box.
Was he wrong?
Look, to me, the owner stuff is... There's no point talking about it because it's not going to change. However, I think it's very foolish to continue to blame the endless participants who have had success prior to arrival and post-arrival. Whether it's, as we mentioned before, the coaches, the quarterbacks, it's an endless carousel of people that have had success before, failed here, leave here, and go have success elsewhere. So something's got to be up. It can't just be Aaron Glenn sucks, he's over his head. Todd Bowles sucks, Robert Saleh sucks, Sam Darnold sucks, but they go elsewhere and have success. So,
it was just bad timing, Sal.
Yeah.
Didn't you get the memo? They were unlucky, those guys.
Jeff Ulbrich over his head.
It's Woody.
Yeah.
He's awful. He stinks.
I do think hiring...
He's lost.
I think that the structure of the organization should be... Because Woody does want to win. It's not like he doesn't want to win.
He spent some money. I mean, but who doesn't want to win?
Well, I mean, some people
don't doubt that.
So, some people don't care about it. They look at the bottom dollar and just
in terms
making
of
money.
financial thing. Yeah, I guess so.
That's not Woody. I don't know if
he doesn't know how to win.
Correct. He needs to hire a president of football operations that is a football guy and then get the hell out of the way. Not ask Charlie Casserly what he thinks or Peyton Manning what he thinks or anybody else. Hire a football guy that knows what he's doing and then have him put the proper pieces in a place. It happened with Detroit.
I just wish he'd get lost, man. I really, I'm sorry. I'm not beating around the bush anymore when it comes to Woody Johnson and the Jets. He stinks. He stinks. He's always stunk, and he'll always stink. Doesn't mean that he won't get lucky at some point. I can't take it anymore. Like, really, you talk about the definition of doing everything the same and hoping for a different result. You know where I'm at this point. I mean, I'm watching the games, and I'm doing the pods, but I'm on my last leg with this team. Just because the correlation to these 25-plus years of basically ineptitude, if not more, it's Woody. I mean, and his brother, Chris, as well. And I've heard Chris is actually a pretty decent guy. And I met Woody, and he is a nice guy. So this is not personal. It might sound that it's not. He's just not good at his job. And I do agree it's kind of a fruitless endeavor to bring up the owners because there's nothing that we can do to get them to sell the team. I understand that. The only reason I bring it up is to direct the spotlight on what I perceive to be the biggest issue, and it's him.
But he did hire the head coach that you wanted, and you weren't alone. Many people wanted him. You know what I'm saying?
Or one of Vrabel first.
Yeah. Okay, but think about this. So now this goes back to really the root of the issue. Why do you think BB resigned as HC of the NY Jet? Seriously, that's where it goes back to.
I know. But let me ask you this.
BB's got his own problems right now.
Let me ask you this. If he leaves Carolina and the Jets go 1-16, do you call up Belichick? I don't even know if we can get into it today. Good God.
I would, and I would have hired him this past offseason. The Jets wouldn't even take his call, but I don't think anybody worth the salt at this point wants to be the head coach with the Jets because they know the dynamics.
Well, Aaron does, which is why I've got Aaron's back. And, not blindly, but I believe he's a smart man. I believe he's a leader of men. I also understand, like every Jet fan that sits there and watches every snap, just how broken and lifeless and inept it's been for a long time. So there's no magic wand, but Sal said this earlier in the week. It would be nice, just even though I don't think that they will win, it would be nice to bag a win just to quiet the noise a little bit and get the messaging reinforced in the locker room. All right, BT and Sal on this Football Friday. 888-808-1019 is the number. Back to these calls, Giants and Jets. Hey, and we got to get to the Scooble Mets possibility, which we will. Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the one before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That is ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
The Scarlet Knights return home hungry for their first Big Ten win of the season. But standing in their way are the high-flying Oregon Ducks.
Touchdown, Rutgers!
Kickoff is tomorrow at 6:30. The home of Rutgers Big Ten football is WFAN. Brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. And The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM Me today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Football season is Modelo season. If you're listening to this, it means you live and breathe Giants football. And you know what that makes you? A full-time fan, which means you deserve a Modelo. Reward your fandom with an ice-cold Modelo, an official cerveza of the New York Giants. Please drink responsibly.
Trying to find the right car at the right price? Yeah, right. Well, Ramsey Auto Group makes it easy. Visit any Ramsey location or RamseyCars.com for a great selection of low-priced certified pre-owned vehicles. And we'll even buy your car or current lease. Get the right car at the right price right here.
Save a lot, RamseyCars.com.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person receiving the deal. Additional terms apply.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Huddle up with BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this college football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, live betting, or bet on new markets thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of college football offers found nowhere else. And keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. When it comes to college football, never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions may vary by market. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
When it comes down to finding the lowest price on Michelin winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tires' guaranteed lowest price. And when it comes to free services, nobody gives you more free services on your Michelin winter tires than Town Fair Tire. So why look for Michelin winter tires anywhere but Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed best deals? Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
Guy
with the tongue. Paul Stanley was another one. Ace Frehley. Who was the fourth one? Why am I forgetting the fourth off?
Peter Criss.
Yes.
Which was the one?
Good call.
Didn't one of them do something with some kind of football league at some point?
Yeah, lingerie, I believe. I believe it was Simmons.
I interviewed him once.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
What'd you ask me? We don't know anything about Kiss,
I still
admittedly.
don't. Yeah, no, I know.
What'd you ask him?
I don't remember. Maybe something about his tongue. He
Oh,
was
man,
a weird.
imagine having that tongue.
He was a weird. It was
It's
a weird
massive.
dude. It was. I was doing something. I was filling in for Maggie Gray.
Okay.
At Sports Illustrated. What was it called? SI Now or something? God, this was years ago. Probably 2014-ish. I don't know, something like that. Whatever it was. Filling in for Maggie Gray, and she used to have to get these great guests in there. And that day that I was filling in, they were having, I guess, Gene Simmons on to talk about whatever.
Wow.
Football league.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, I don't remember what the hell.
And he had like a show like Ozzy Osbourne had as well. I'm forgetting the name of it there. And it's funny because I thought Gene Simmons must have been some party nut job. Clean as a whistle.
Was he?
No booze, at least for a while. No drugs. And again, I wasn't a big Kiss fan, but you couldn't help. I was probably if I remember 79, 1980, I'm 6 years old. And I'm like, who are these freaks? But they did have a couple of really good songs that became fairly mainstream. But why I do really respect Kiss, and again, rest in peace to Ace Frehley there. They spawned this generation of Motley Crue, who I love. Hoff, I even forgot about Twisted Sister.
Twisted
You threw
Sister,
the makeup, right? The teased hair.
You can go
Poison.
you can go to any band that has makeup or whatever. They were the first band that had that gimmicky.
No question.
That was straight up face paint style. This is who we are. This is what we're going to be about. Had their nicknames or whatever it is, and good to go.
And then even Metallica and some other bands downstream, not quite with the makeup or the hair. but they were kind of connected. Yeah, the coaching tree, you got the music tree. So rest in peace to a legend.
And by the way, the Gene Simmons thing, I know he was clean, but I think his thing was he was like a ladies' man.
Oh, no, he was.
I think that's what he was known for.
Well, he had a nice asset going for himself there.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
With a
What do you mean
2-foot
he was a
tongue.
ladies' man?
Well, he was up there with who was it that set the record for ladies with the was it Chamberlain?
Will Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is nonsense. Come on.
Yeah, look, I just found it. I was searching this whole time. I just trying to find me interviewing this guy.
3-foot tongue.
Yeah, he didn't actually like. I didn't see the big tongue. You sure that wasn't a stage thing?
No, it's a real tongue. Remember, it was in Happy Gilmore.
Yes,
Yeah.
that wasn't really him though.
I think it was a mask.
You think they had a stunt tongue?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, they did in Boogie Nights for Wahlberg.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, Hop, you have a big tongue, no?
He does.
It's wide. It's not.
Well, that's all right. That works too.
Boomer and Gio talk about that all the time. BT works for what? BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1019. I'm going to, during the next commercial break, I'm going to watch myself with Gene Simmons. So it's just a weird.
Were you shaving your head at that point? Like, do you look the same? Beard one? Skiz is young Sal.
So far, it's still Gene Simmons on here and not me. Cut to me, will you?
Well, they knew who to keep the camera on, dude.
Alex is calling from East Quad. What's up, Alex? Alex?
What's up, bud?
Hey, how you doing, guys? By the way, Gene Simmons was a teacher before he became a rock star. That might have been one of the reasons why he was squeaky clean. And the TV show you're thinking of was a reality series with his wife, Playboy Playmate Shannon Tweed and their family.
The Playmate, correct. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let me move off of that. I wanted to make a couple of rapid-fire Giants points if I could, but I do want to say that I saw in the paper today that the Charlotte Hornets dumped Spencer Dinwiddie after signing into a guaranteed one-year contract. The Knicks could do a lot worse than picking him up now as their backup point with a contract that the Hornets for 1 year are going to pay.
It could be. It's not a big Nick day here, but obviously the season starts next week.
I just happened to read that right now. Let me.
Hold on, Alex. Hold on. And by the way, Brogdon retired a little surprisingly
I hated
there. So
that. I was looking forward to watching Brogdon.
So maybe Spencer Dinwiddie's in play. Go ahead.
I think that would be a smart move. Anyway, really quick, 3 quick points here. Number one, I didn't know much about him until he was signed as the big free agent signing for the secondary. But from what I've seen so far, I'm not that impressed with Paulson and Dabo. He seems to get burned a lot. That's just my opinion. Secondly, I see that Schmitz is still out in the concussion protocol. I'm not too upset about that because this guy, Austin Schlottman, the 8-year veteran that came and played damn well in his place last week, and I've never been a big Schmitz fan. And thirdly, and I'll go after that. Do you remember, of course, when Jason Sehorn got stuck on returning kicks? They stuck him in stupidly, and
he blew up his knee against the Jets. I was at the game.
I'm telling you now, if Brian Daboll doesn't tell Skattebo to stop that stupid backflip, and he tears a hamstring or something, they're going to ride Daboll out on a rail. He's got to say, "I'm the coach. It's cool."
Well, no, you can't let him not celebrate, Alex. I mean,
I'm not talking about stopping the celebration. I think you can dance.
What do you think? What do you think's more dangerous? Those backflips or hitting your head against another teammate's helmet? Like, you can't do that. To me, I would be like, guys, calm it down with the head-to-head contact here. That to me would be more dangerous. Or the way Skattebo plays, period. But I think the backflip is the least of the concerns when it comes to potential injuries for Skattebo.
I'm not worried about that pulling a hamstring. Come on, Alex. Jeez, I mean, you've got to let Skattebo be Skattebo. Now, there's a little different approach with Dart in terms of knowing to get down. He's a potential franchise quarterback here. This kid Skattebo is. I said this to Sal, but others as well. But the way he's the lunatic, the maniac that we all grew up with. No matter what happened after your craziest night in college or high school, he's getting up no matter what. He's getting off the pavement. He's just, you can't touch him. And if you take away that superpower, then he's not good anymore because he's not running a 4.3. He's running a 4.7. And the reason he's in the NFL is because he is not afraid of contact at all. So you try to disarm him or declaw him, if you will. He may as well be in a minor league football league.
Part of the fun, part of the energy. You want those backflips. Obviously, you don't want him to get hurt, but he does way more dangerous things. Look at how skinny I was. Look at that. Me and Gene Simmons.
But you're still looking at this, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, change it.
Oh, what are we going to talk about? Paulson and Dabo? I'm sorry.
Dude, you are skinny. You're too skinny.
I know. My wife used to say,
nah,
right?
too skinny.
I know.
cleanly shaven. Look at the way he's sitting there. Like
I don't know what the hell I asked him. I got to find that out during the break.
Because I know you, no matter what he says, you have no idea about it because I don't even love Kiss and I'm 6 years older.
I have no idea.
God, my, that is a funny picture, dude.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll come back. We'll power up. We didn't do it yesterday because of the Yankee stuff. Power up top 5 teams in the NFL. So we'll do that when we come back. We have Nick Costos later on. Perfect Parlay Pick segment week 7 later on as well. 888-808-1019. For over 92 years, Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York. And right now, with low rates, it's the perfect time to lock in your price for winter before cold weather pushes prices up. Don't wait. Call today and lock in your savings and enjoy a worry-free season. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter, warmer tomorrow for almost a century, backed by superior services and unmatched reliability. When it comes to your home heat, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freezerate.com or call 718-238-1050.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I don't know about you, but I remember Jaxson Dart being a bit of a project heading into the draft. And people thinking that of all the quarterbacks taken in the first round, he may very well be the least equipped to step in and start right away.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Penn State's firing of James Franklin is a risky move. History shows trying to replace very good coaches with elite coaches often backfires. Florida struggled since Dan Mullen left. Wisconsin lost its identity after Paul Chryst got fired, and Bill Belichick's UNC tenure is already a mess. Sometimes chasing greatness just digs a deeper hole. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Sunny skies with a high around 66. Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
Wellness isn't just what you do. It's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on rock October savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due sign Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, add tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your tri-state Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. With a $755 million investment in the expansion of a universal after-school program, allowing over 184,000 New York City students to participate. With better schools building brighter futures, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Now it's time to power up with BT and Sal.
Power Up brought to you by Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. During the offseason, we have fun with different power rankings throughout the course of whatever it may be that we're thinking of. In season, it's always about the power rankings, our power rankings in the NFL. You want to start us off today? We'll go obviously 5 through 1. This is a weird year doing this with the NFL, where usually there's some clear, decisive, it's going to be tough to leave some teams out. Now it's like,
not this year.
Yeah, who the hell am I putting in this top 5? Go ahead, BT.
I've got 3 new teams. I'll tell you that right off the bat here. Number 5, you ready?
Yeah.
How about the Patriots? You have to start looking at the Patriots as a team that is legitimately viable. Now, they're 4-2. They did beat Buffalo. They've only given up 120 points, and they've got, which is among the best in the AFC. They've got among the best point differentials in the AFC. I think it's 3rd or 4th. And here's the thing. I know it's early in their ascent, but do they have the head coach? Check. Do they have the quarterback? Check. Do they have the defense? Check. And by the way, they got 2 games against the Jets. They'll win those. They're not done with Miami yet, so there's a lot more wins to be had. I've got the Pats at number 5.
They've been impressive, no question about it. I didn't even give them consideration, but because of their success, I did knock the Bills out. The Bills were always a top team. I do not have them in my top 5. Let me ask you before I give you my 5th team.
Yep.
Do you have the Colts on your list at all?
I do.
Okay, so then I'll save that for that. Number 5 for me, first time on the list this year, I had to put the Chiefs on there. I know they're 3-3. I still think that they are going to be when all said and done, one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL. I'm not as high on them as Costos is. He said it last week. They had an impressive win, whether the refs cheated or not, whatever it may be, or the league got involved. They did beat the Lions, a team who I thought was the best team in the league for multiple weeks in a row here. I have to put the Chiefs on there, and I think they're only going to continue to get better and probably climb up this list. So for the first time for me, Kansas City is on the power rankings. They're number 5.
Okay, I obviously understand that, and I think they're going to get better and better and better and better. Number 4 for me, I got Indy.
Okay.
A little Danny Jones love here, 5-1. Now, here's the pause here. Here's the rub. They've beaten bad teams. They've beaten Miami. They've beaten the Titans. They beat Vegas. They beat Arizona. Now, they also beat your team, Denver.
Yep.
That's the one signature win, and they scored almost 30 points. They won that game by a single point, 29-28. So And I do believe that Denver defense is top 2, maybe number 1, and they still almost scored 30 here. So little wait and see. I don't know.
They've got by far the best point differential in the league.
I didn't even see that. What is the number?
Plus 78.
That's a big number. Jeez. But that
also speaks second. Plus, I know they've been dominating teams. Denver plus 35. Detroit plus 49.
Okay.
Detroit and Seattle are plus 49. Indianapolis plus 78.
That's a good nugget right there. So that also plays into, as I said at the start, beating up some of these bad teams. Bad teams generally don't stop anybody, and they don't score a ton, so you're going to have a good point differential as they do. Now, the Denver win is a solidifier. That's why I put them in. And they're going to have some fluctuations. I think they could drop out of the top 5 and some would come back in, but right now I got them at 4.
I can't put them in there yet, although I considered it. I wasn't sure you were going to do it. That's why I asked you before. If they win this week and Indianapolis is on the road against the Chargers, they 100% have to be in there. I don't know what it is. I just can't get to when push comes to shove, I don't believe they're one of the 5 best teams in the NFL.
Well, you know what it is. It's Jones.
No, I was thinking about that. Is it Daniel Jones? I don't know. He's been good. I'm not trying to knock him. They've been as dominant as you can be. I still just, push comes to shove, I don't believe they're as good as even the Chargers. So we'll see what happens this week with that particular game. But if they win this week, I have to put them on there. I left them off. I went with the Chiefs instead. And number 4 for me, first time I think on the list for me this year, I went with the Packers. It was tough to find another team to put in there. You could make an argument for the Colts. You could go with the Eagles, some others, maybe the Bills or the Patriots. I did not go with those teams. I went with Green Bay, and I feel like Green Bay's loss to Cleveland knocked them down quite a bit. Then the tie to the Cowboys knocked them down.
Yeah.
Still 1-1. They're undefeated at home. 1-0 in the division, 2-0-1 in the conference. They still have, I love Jordan Love. I think they're going to be, when all said and done, a very good team. And I just trust them maybe more so than a team like the Colts. So I have the Packers at number 4.
Okay, I don't have the Packers on my list here. I think I might at some point.
You did
I did.
On,
I was going to say I did at one prior point there. Now, listen, as we just do a little rundown, the Bills are off my list. The Eagles are off my list. So, again, there's some volatility here. Number 3, now, some people look at power rankings and they do a little personal spin. My spin is more of a reaction to a projection. I know Kansas City's going to move up this list for me. Right. They're probably going to be 1 or 2 when it's all said and done. Right now, they're 3. They're getting healthy. That's going to change things. I would imagine in a month, I would think most of us would say this is probably the Super Bowl favorite. But right now, I got them at 3. As they get healthy, they're on the list, but they're at 3.
Wow.
Yep.
So you are going to be leaving off here some teams that I have in my top 3.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about maybe the Niners or some other teams?
No, I'm number 3. I have the Bucks.
Oh, I got the Bucks on my list.
Okay.
I got them.
All right.
I had them last week,
then there's definitely at least one that you don't have even in the top 5.
Correct.
I got the Bucks at number 3 here. Yeah, we both had them on our list, I think, last week. Another impressive win against the Niners this past week, 5-1. I mean, you can't say enough good things. Now, I know they haven't been dominant, and maybe that's why they were docked early on, and maybe that's why even with the 5-1 record, I still have them only 3rd on my list. But Tampa Bay has unquestionably been one of the best teams in the NFL consistently from start to where we are now going into week 6. So I have the Bucks at number 3.
I mean, listen, if you can't have a guy like Mahomes or, Brady, imagine having a guy like Baker, quarterback of the Jets right now.
I wish.
The Giants have their guy. That's why I say the Jets. I mean, the Stones. And by the way, I think that he gets a little misrepresented, his talent, because he's fiery and because he's like a little short and stocky. He doesn't look like the prototypical superstar, and maybe he's not quite a superstar, but I do think his actual passing acumen gets glossed over, like, oh, he's like a linebacker. He also throws the hell out of it. All right, number 2 for me, Detroit. I've got Detroit here. I love them. I think that, and I remember saying this last week as well, I overreacted to their first loss of the season, but maybe that's my fault. I made some adjustments since. This is a team that knows how to win. This is a team that apparently has found a way to recover or at least move forward despite losing an O-lineman and a couple of coaches. That was the story for us going into the season. Detroit Rock City. Hey, speaking of Kiss, Detroit.
I also have the Lions number 2, and they were my number 1 for a few weeks in a row. I had to dock them a little bit for the loss against Kansas City, even though I could have still made the argument they're the best team in the NFL, and I think they're going to end up being the best team in the NFL. I have one team that I like better than them right now, but I would go Lions number 2, so I'm with you there.
All right, and number 1 is Tampa.
Yeah, wow.
I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't even necessarily think that they get to the Super Bowl, but that's why I prefaced before what I said. It's more of a reaction in real time than a projection. And I remember saying last week, hey, if you're inclined to play the futures market, you bet, you like to have a little fun with that. I told you last week, or maybe even 2, based on the odds and the value, throw a C note, again, if that's your thing, on Baker to win the MVP. I mean, it's only gaining some steam by the week.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, you lose 2 straight. Now, not that he can't stabilize, of course. And with the weaponry coming back for Mahomes, he's already got 11 touchdowns. He's going to have some sick numbers when it's all said and done. He's going to have a gaudy win total, which always matters for the MVP. But I got Tampa. They got a good thing going.
I am shocked that you don't have my number 1 team even on your list.
I know.
Not even on your top 5. I'm going with the Broncos. I believe the Broncos have the best defense in the NFL. That's why they're there. I think they're the best team in the AFC. I think they're only going to continue to get better. So if you had to go, part of your point, BT, I agree with. Like, I'm projecting as well, not just reacting to right now. Otherwise, the Colts would definitely be on there. And you just go by the record or the point differential. I think Denver is going to project to get better as the season goes on. I expect big things from them this week and even moving forward. They have the best defense in the NFL. You look around at the AFC, like, do I trust the Chargers 100%? No. Chargers have not been on my top 5 power rankings at all this year. I think they're too banged up. Something seems off with them this year, so I don't. Chiefs made my list, and I think they're dangerous. Okay, fair enough. I don't trust anybody in the South at all. The North, give me a break. I mean, it's a crapshoot. The Steelers losing last night to the Bengals with Joe Flacco. Ravens are toast, so we know where that stands.
Yep.
And in the East, because the Bills have been knocked down, they just got dismantled by the Falcons after getting beat at home by the Patriots, and I don't trust the Patriots that much. I look at the AFC, and I think Denver is the best team in the AFC. To me, it's only 2 teams that you could have that conversation with, Denver or the Chiefs. So give me the Denver Broncos with the unequivocally best defense in the NFL right now, and I think they're going to get better with Bo Nix, with the offense, with the head coach as well, experience last year. I think Denver's the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I can't say that yet. I like them. They're interesting. And they've got a chance to bag some wins here. So I'm looking at their schedule. So let's hope they don't get one this weekend against the Giants. But favored big against the Giants. They'll be favored at home, against Dallas the next week. Then at Houston, provided they keep playing well, they'll be favored. Then they play Vegas on Thursday, November 6th, Thursday night. They'll be favored. And then
that's going to be a huge game, that next one.
The next one's Kansas City. That's a Sunday. That's a 4:25. That's going to be a little Romo and Nance. And, I'm not going to sit here and say that they'll be favored that game because that's just too far down the road with injuries. But if they take care of business and they're going to be favored in the 4 before that, and if they go 4-0, they probably will be slight home favorites against Kansas City going into that game.
Either way, that's going to be the toughest task. And now, look, they got to clean up here and beat the team, starting with the Giants this week. Giants are not going to be any pushover. We know that. Dart's dangerous, but I fully believe in Denver. Matter of fact, I should probably just bet that. I should have done it weeks ago, betting them to get to the Super Bowl because I think the AFC is wide open, and I think Denver's defense is going to carry them there. So I probably get good odds on that, I would bet. We could ask Costos about that coming up a little bit. All right, there you go. Week 7, power up here, BT and Sal. We'll take a break, come back, reset, get back to the Giants. Huge game against those Denver Broncos coming up Sunday. And for the Jets, a big game as well. Not that it's going to make or break their season, but goodness, they need a win in the worst way. We're talking football, BT and Sal on this Friday on The Fan.
This is science. You can't bet against a coach who wears a fishing vest.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
They are a much better defense than I gave them credit for before the season started.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where you can get a single line with everything you need. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling, there's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease yours for $229 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full lineup is only at the one place pros rely on. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery. Or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers, exclusively at the Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $227 a month and $2,004 due at delivery, lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with two-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:01. I'm Chris LaPresti. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, ChefIQ.com. Also sponsored by Paramus Chevrolet. Some surprising and unexpected trash talk from the Broncos publicly and on social media ahead of Giants-Broncos this Sunday in Denver. This was outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper asked about containing rookie Jaxson Dart as a run threat.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something.
No surprise, Brian Daboll not taking the bait, not getting involved in any back and forth with the upcoming opponent.
I think the biggest thing is going out there and playing well on Sunday, and doing the things you need to do during the week to be ready to play a game against a very challenging, like I've talked about on Wednesday, good football team, and that's really the most important thing.
Meantime, Jets wideout Garrett Wilson officially will be listed as doubtful for Sunday's home game against the Panthers, not expected to play on his hyperextended knee. Baseball-wise, the Dodgers go for an NLCS sweep of the Brewers tonight in L.A. They'll have Shohei Ohtani on the mound shortly after 8:30. Prior to that, Game 5 between the Blue Jays and the Mariners in Seattle with the ALCS tied at 2 games apiece. Kevin Gausman opposed by Bryce Miller shortly after 6 o'clock. And you got the preseason finales for the NBA locals tonight. The Knicks home for the the Hornets, while the Nets visit the Raptors. Fan weather sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. 57 degrees, sunny skies in Central Park, and with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart.
Talk, and I just saw Brian Dable, BT, I guess, addressed it when asked about it today, saying ultimately what's going to matter most is how we perform on Sunday. It's a really good football team. We're in a competitive industry, emotional industry. The most important thing is you do your job, and that is in relation to Jonathan Cooper of the Broncos speaking out about Jaxson Dart, not really taking shots, but just kind of putting a rookie in his place, I guess, so to speak, talking about his chain and he likes to dance and all that. I could see that being perceived as a shot, and then the Giants punching back. Nick Bonito, the best defensive player in the league, said, I've never seen a more delusional fan base, and everybody assumes he was talking about the Giants. He since deleted that. But you had Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau getting in the mix, so adding some spice to what is already a big matchup here, a chance for the Giants to show what they're made of. Is this legit? Not just Jaxson Dart, but what they've done here 2 out of the last 3 weeks to beat a very good Broncos team in their building.
I think we're all always down for a little extra juice with these games. Bring it on. It's going to be a lot of fun here. Now, what Dable said, smart. You don't want to add to this. I think if you're Dable, you do what you did and you diffuse it a little bit. Maybe disarm some stories that could become distractions. But I promise you, deep down, Dable's sitting there saying, oh, Kayvon chimed in. Oh, Abdul Carter. All right, there you go. My boys are ready. And what you present publicly is what he just did. I think he handled that very well. But privately, that there's a source of pride because the Giants are coming together.
Yeah, dude. See, that's the thing. Regardless of the result on Sunday, the energy is different. The Giants are no longer the doormat punching bag. And maybe the Broncos think that they are. Maybe other teams think that they are. And I still don't think they're at the level where a lot of Giant fans think. I think they're very good. I think they're dangerous. I don't think they're at the level of the Broncos in this particular game this week. I thought they would beat the Eagles, so I was right there. I thought they'd beat the Chargers, I was right there. I didn't think they'd beat the Saints, so I've been right on the Giants so far. I don't think they're at this level, but maybe they prove me wrong and go out there and win this game. And then to me, anything is possible. But regardless of what I think or you think or Denver thinks, the Giants' energy is completely different to the point where now they're like, oh, yeah, you're going to doubt us?
Yeah.
Now we'll see what's on. Remember, the Giants were doubted during their Super Bowl runs. Nobody thought they'd go on the 10-6 teams or whatever it was back then, going on in through the playoffs. They were underdogs almost every step of the way. So that maybe the Giants thrive in this type of spot where they have some pieces in place and everybody's doubting them.
Somebody's got to do this for me if the Giants win. Somebody has to do this. And they've got the creativity and the understanding of how to do this because I don't know how to do this digitally, right? Otherwise, I would do it. If the Giants win, somebody's got to recreate the scene in Goodfellas when they're celebrating at the bar. Come on, have a drink. Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. And Joe Pesci's like, listen, you've been away for a while here. I don't shine shoes anymore. And he later kills him. Somebody's got to find a way to superimpose either Dart or Carter or Kayvon's head on Pesci.
Yeah.
And then,
Benito or Cooper or whatever.
Yeah, Cooper, either one of the Denver Broncos defenders on the other guy who also was in The Sopranos, of course. I'm forgetting his name, the actor. Or I'm forgetting his name in the Goodfellas. And just have that exchange. Like, if the Giants play well, somebody's got to do that for me. Because I do think that they're thinking that they still shine some shoes, and they might. I mean, they might wax the Giants, but if they don't, then those words are going to be remembered.
And I think there's a lot more good that could come of this game on Sunday than bad. At least from my perspective, I don't expect the Giants to win, so if they won, I'd be shocked, pleasantly surprised that, hey, you know what? Anything is now possible. And if they lost, even if it is a blowout, whatever, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, I'm just saying even if it is a double-digit game, I still be like, okay, well, you saw where you're at right now with one of the best teams in the league, certainly the best defense in the league. Now let's see what you can do against the Eagles for a second time and see if you can go beat them. So it's not like season's over or disaster if they lose this game. But either way, BT, we finally have a big game to be played in New York football week 7. Who would have thought that would have been the case? And as for the Jets, it's a big game in a different respect. They've got to get a win. They need a win in the worst way. The narrative can't continue about 0-6, 0-7. Are the Jets going to win a game? Should Aaron Glenn be fired? For everybody's benefit, specifically Aaron Glenn, they got to figure out a way to win this game. I don't care that Garrett Wilson, right now I think I saw he's doubtful as the latest
He's
report.
not playing.
Okay, but the fact that he's doubtful could be encouraging at least beyond this week even. But whatever. I don't want to hear excuses. It's the Carolina Panthers, and yes, they've been good. So what? Good teams can be beat. They're good. They're not great. They're beatable. It's at home. Find a way to win a freaking football game. If they played the way that they played against Denver, not offensively, and I think it would be better offensively because Carolina is nowhere near defensively where Denver is. If they play like the way they played discipline and defensively last week in London, they will beat the Panthers. But either way, they've got to figure out a way to get a win this week.
And Aaron's got to stop coaching scared. And I hopefully this week was, a period of growth for Aaron. And I'm confident that it will be eventually. A little less confident in the actual result of the game Sunday. Certainly less than you. You think they're going to win. I don't. Two things here. All right, so the Jets don't become a non-story until they win a game. And that's your point. Like, right. When they eventually, and they're not going winless.
Win, non-story, and go do what you got to do in oblivion.
But if you're, no wins in late October, early November, mid-November, starting to get toward Christmas, now it's a different conversation, and it's off the rails, and then at that point, Glenn could be fired. Right or wrong, I think that would be the conversation. For some, it's the conversation now.
Right, I know.
Okay.
I know.
So that's the Jets, and I hope I'm wrong. I don't expect much. But the Giants, everybody's focusing on Dart and the renewed energy, which are great things, and Skattebo and the defense. Here's something else Giant fans should focus on. I think we'll learn a little bit more about what kind of coach Brian Daboll is this week here. And nobody's really saying that. Everybody's kind of going to the sexier stuff, the player stuff, which I obviously get. But the ability to get a team off the mat is one element of coaching, all right? The ability to handle prosperity and keep your team almost on edge when things are going well, then you start to feel yourself. Listen, you don't think Giant players are feeling good about themselves? I don't know how much they listen to WFAN, but I know the Giants do. We know that for a fact, okay? So everybody's singing their praises, and rightfully so. And it's Daboll's job to make sure that doesn't infiltrate the locker room where they become a little content. And if they get whacked and they're sloppy, then it'd be like, hey, Daboll, you didn't have them ready. Even if they lose a competitive game, I think it's a different evaluation of his coaching ability.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll have a perfect parlay pick segment coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Nick Costos, he'll get you set for week 7, joining us as he always does at 12:40. So plenty to do here. Back to the calls. Bill is in Neptune. What's up, Bill?
Hey, what's up, boys? Sorry I dropped the call earlier. I had to take my kid to the dentist office. But I wanted to talk Giants. I know it's a bit of a culture change. I'm excited. I think these young guys have come in and they've really turned the page for the Giants fans. I want to make a comparison between Bo Nix and Jaxson Darks. I think they're both very similar in skill set and swag. And I think that Jaxson Dart can have the same kind of success that Bo Nix has had in Denver. But I will say the one guy I think that's been kind of an unsung hero amongst these rookies is Abdul Carter. He might not have the sacks numbers, but he's definitely been wreaking havoc on the offensive line. The pressure that kid can bring has been outstanding, and he's really opened up a lot of things for Brian Burns to do what he does great, and Kayvon to kind of shine.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
you drafted him to get splash plays, to be even more fair, not to open up holes for other guys.
Yeah.
100%. I think you could also make the argument that the Giants could be 5-1, maybe 4-2 right now. Some of those games were a lot closer than they actually appeared to be at the end of the game with the score.
No, I would not make that argument. I'll give you the Dallas game. I would not make the argument the other way.
Not the Commanders either with the 14-6 score?
No, that game, to me, game was, me personally, now you can feel your way, Bill. I'm going to feel mine. I don't think that game was as close as the score would indicate.
And the Chiefs game, you feel the same way?
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, the Chiefs game, you could say that they were in the game. No, with Russell Wilson was a different story. Now, I'll give you the Cowboys. They should have beaten the Cowboys. And even the Saints, like that you can't say, well, they should have. They moved the football up and down the field on the Saints. They turned it over 5 times. So I would give you the Cowboys game, if you play that game over 100 times, the Giants probably win that 98. So they got to win that football game, but they didn't. But I'll give you that one. And I'm not looking back to go back in the history. Who cares about that now? Giants have won 2 of the last 3 against very good football teams here with the Chargers and the Eagles, and thank you for the call. And now they have a chance to do it again against another very good football team. In my opinion, this is the toughest challenge that they will face, including the Chiefs who came in their building. Where everybody thought that they were going to beat the Chiefs, I did not feel that way. The Chiefs were down. Remember, that was a different case, and it was at home. This, to me, is the toughest test that the Giants will have faced and will face all year long.
Okay, I agree for now. We'll see down the road.
Yeah,
but right now, I believe it is. And even... Philly, because Philly, you kind of had to get that mojo going there. So, but in terms of defense, yeah, I'm agree with you.
Think about it, BT. Philly also at home and Philly also down.
Yes.
Kansas City at the time also at home and also down.
I get it. I understood. All right, so I usually hear this and saw it for a long time. Tiki goes down his rabbit holes. I went through one right now, so I was kind of looking some stuff up that I think is pertinent and I think people will appreciate, because the call started with the Knicks Dart comparison, if you recall, right? So, all right, now... Knicks ran a 4.6 40, which is really good for a quarterback. There's some fluctuations with Dart because, whatever, the radar, the stopwatch, the laser, right around there. Some had 4.57, some had slightly higher. So athletically, they are fairly the same profile.
Okay.
So I think that's fair. And obviously, Knicks was fairly prolific throwing the football with almost 30 touchdowns as a rookie a year ago, making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The thing that I think is interesting, though, and I'm going to weave the Jets in here. So I don't know who the Jets are going to draft a quarterback. They're going to draft somebody. Now, the kid at Oklahoma has like 5 or 6 starts. Mendoza from Indiana, I like him a lot more. The kid at Oregon, even though he didn't play well against Indiana, a lot more. The connection between Knicks being ready in the NFL, he played 61 games in college, and Jaxson Dart played a lot for Ole Miss. I think it was 40-something. So as teams look for quarterbacks, Sanchez didn't play a lot at USC. He fizzled out. That was a concern there. I think that the ability to identify a college quarterback and at least slice the odds in your favor that you're going to draft the right guy, draft somebody who's played a lot of football in college.
But that's not a guarantee either.
No, it's not. But if you look at the guys
how many
who
games
generally
did Mac Jones play a bunch of games?
Yeah, but Mac Jones just didn't have the talent. Mac Jones is slow. That was just a bad move out of pay. He couldn't move. His arm was average. Mac Jones just stunk. I didn't like him coming out of college. That's like one that I actually got right. Yeah. But no, Mac Jones did not look like the part. They misdrafted him. But all I'm saying, and listen, there is no perfect recipe. Right. Clearly, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is when you start, and we're kind of getting into the mock draft period now, especially for the Jets, and there's for the Jets. And there's some different guys. I named 3 or 4 already. You're going to hear a lot of names. For me, look at the guy who's played a lot in college.
Mark is calling from East Rockaway. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys. I really, really love the show. And I'm a lifelong Giants fan from 1970. I've had season tickets.
Wow.
63 years old. I loved your point today, Sal, about, as a fan, who would you rather face next? And for me, it's Denver, because I've already been through we had a really big win, our first win of the season, and then 5 turnovers against the Saints. So, try to, keep that edge going. I think the Giants got a little sloppy, up 14-3, maybe even a little overconfident. But one thing I also wanted to mention, I think BT, the actor you're thinking of, is Frank Vincent, who played Billy Bat.
There we go. Thank you.
With the Goodfellas.
Yes, of course.
Recognition, Billy Bat. And I also want to mention, whoever is doing the music today, Ace Frehley grew up in the Bronx. He's a big sports guy. I grew up with Kiss. It's a really nice touch that before some of your segments, whoever's handling that
That's all
on.
Oh, I thought it was dope.
It's really great. But anyways, love the show. I'd like to hear your comments, especially, Sal, about if you think it would be that cyclical, we have the big win against the Chargers and we're losing against the Saints. Would you rather face Denver now?
I understand what you're saying, Mark, and thank you for the call. I wouldn't be scared of a lesser opponent thinking that the Giants are going to play down to that opponent. I wouldn't mind a softer landing spot after, remember, that first win against the Chargers, people really still weren't believing in the Giants. They thought that the Giants might beat the Saints because they just had that marked on their schedule as one of the games that the Giants were going to win because the Saints stink. Although that's a tough spot to play at times. Rattler maybe a little bit dangerous quarterback, and the Giants turned the ball over 5 times. So I think that's just a rookie in game 2. They followed that up with a beatdown of the Eagles, beating them up in the trenches and taking care of the Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champs. So now you're talking about 2 of the last 3 games they played well. I wouldn't mind, I don't want to say a cupcake because there are no real cupcakes in the NFL, but a softer landing spot to try to make it now 3 of 4 and get back toward 500, as opposed to, in my mind, this is not an impossible game, but a very, very difficult task. Now, the flip side to that is if they win this, I don't think there's any challenge the rest of the way that can be too daunting for the Giants. So I think there's some good and maybe some bad in it, because if you had a softer spot, maybe you pay to win, BT. Mm-hmm. But if you beat a good team like this, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, now you're gaining altitude for sure. Well, that's why I brought up Dable before. Listen, of course it's going to come down to the players making plays here, but the level, and I don't mean from a schematical perspective. Of course, the Giants know their first 15 plays. They know what the Broncos are going to do. They're going to line up the defense to try to combat that. I don't mean that stuff. I'm talking about emotionally. We're going to learn a little bit about Dable's ability to make sure this team stays on a high. And I'm not here to predict that he won't, but I'm not 100% sure that he will. So I'm very curious how that plays out.
I think the main point is we're still learning about what they are. Some people could say definitively they believe in this team after 3 weeks or believe in Jaxson, and that's fine. I understand that. But I can't be considered crazy if I were to say, well, I can make a case that they could lose the next 3 in a row. At Denver, at Philly, home against the Niners. I'm not saying it's likely. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but it's certainly plausible. We can't go from doubting everything about this team from the head coach on down to all of a sudden loving everything about this team from the quarterback on out to the point where we expect them to beat the Broncos, Eagles, or Niners. Those are 3 tough games. We still are unsure about this team that just started winning a few weeks ago.
Yep.
So it's still very possible that it could go, as far as the win-losses go, could go the wrong way.
It is, but think about, this might be a weird analogy, imagine being stuck in the desert forever. Lord, whatever the point is where you don't die, you're in the desert, right? And then somehow you stumble upon somebody or something, and there's a bottle of something, a liquid, you don't even know what it is. Are you going to really ask questions, or are you going to down it? You drink it.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could be poison. It could be gross stuff. I won't even say. It could be anything. It's not going to necessarily rehydrate you, but you're not going to ask questions. You're thirsty. So the Giant fans right now have been in the desert forever.
Right.
And they've stumbled upon what is a bottle of something that they needed to drink.
Right.
Now, I don't think that it's poison. I think that it's more Gatorade or water or something that's going to get them on the right track. But the way things get hijacked here, when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, when you're tired, whatever's going to combat that, you don't ask a lot of questions, dude.
Right now, they're dousing themselves in what they think is water. And come 7:30 on Sunday, it could be like, oh, that's not water. Could be something else, to your point. Now, let's hope that it is water. Dousing themselves in it.
Pretty soon it'll be champagne. If they win this, it'll be champagne.
You're not kidding. BT and Sal on the Fan, WFAN NFL football, powered by Verizon. Get your local Verizon store today. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
It's John Boy Media's Talkin' Yanks, the show for real Yankee fans who live and breathe pinstripes. John Boy and Jake bring you the latest Yankees news, moves, and takes all year long, from spring training to the postseason and everything in between. Powered by WFAN and John Boy Media. Tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at slomanshieldlink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo
Touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
What? So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning, and you too can be so much more.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
It's out back on the Fan. 888-808-119. Nick Costos coming up in about 15 minutes, so we'll get you set for Week 7 with that. Perfect Parlay Pick segment coming up Week 7. We'll do that next hour. We didn't mention yet any of the baseball, and there's so much baseball to get into, and we could do that, of course, next week, middle of the week. Obviously, it's a big football Friday, but we have to talk about the Tarek Skubal news yesterday, BT. John Heyman of The Post had the report that the Tigers apparently $250 million apart in contract talks with Tarek Skubal. Hoff was saying before the show that was an old number. I guess they talked about it on the Rico last night.
Yep.
That was an old number. Well, it's an old number, but it's a new story, and it's a story now that's more relevant because this is the final year of control for Tarek Skubal. And if you're the Tigers and you're that far apart, you got to move him.
100% he's going to be traded.
And if he's going to be moved and the Mets need an ace, and find me the team that's going to be more willing to pay for Tarek Skubal when he does, in fact, hit free agency. The Dodgers get every pitcher known to man. Are they really going to go out and spend another $400 million on a starter?
No, they don't need to.
The Yankees aren't doing it because they have the money tied up in Fried, Cole, and Rodon. They're not doing it. Right, the Dodgers don't need to, but they're not going to do it. So where are, not to mention that even if those teams wanted to, the Mets could still potentially outbid each of those two teams, assuming that Skubal wants to be here. So to me, this is the perfect fit. And for the first time yesterday when I heard this, I actually think it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. I believe Skubal's going to be a Met.
There's no reason he shouldn't be a Met for some of the reasons you identified here. Now, the philosophy 2 years in, it worked the first year. It blew up the second year, large injuries and just not performing well. The Mets got to get somebody on the staff that can take the baseball and, number one, instill fear and dominance in the opposition. Whether it's April on opening day or October against whomever in a closeout game in the DS or the CS or the wild card or whatever it is. You got to go all in for Skubal here. And I don't know if Pete will be back, but we always have to factor this in. I hope he's back, but I'm not giving him 7 years. That's lunacy.
Yeah, nobody's
getting No, nobody is. I agree with that. But Lindor's not a kid. Soto's still young, so you have him. But they're at a point where you got to hit the gas. And everything about Cohen, when he bought the team and the infusion of hope and belief in Met fans, which I think was justified then and still, because you got your Soto, is that a guy like this hits the market, the Mets are all in. The Mets will be all in. There's no question.
And that's why I call him King Cohen. That's why, regardless of the crappy result of this past season, everything is still there for them. They're in play with all these big names. There's a need. They're going to go attack it. It doesn't guarantee that they're going to get him. It wasn't a guarantee they were going to get Soto, but they did. No guarantee they're going to give what it's going to take to get Skubal, but I believe they're going to be as aggressive as anybody else. And guess what? If they don't trade for him, they're going to be as aggressive as anybody signing for him. Now, I would trade for him for two reasons. One, you need him now. Two, I want to see what he could do in New York before I fork over $400 million for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going to be looking at. Now, even if he's great in New York, the contract could still be a bust, whatever it may be. But why wouldn't you want to get some more information on how he is in New York prior to extending or the contract or whatever it may be, giving him that big contract?
The longer commitment.
Go trade him. Now, Martino reported yesterday on SNY and Baseball Night in New York that McLean's untouchable.
Yeah, to me, I don't like that.
Well, here's why I'm okay with it. You should be able to get him without having to give up your best pitcher. Also, well, what do you mean?
I think there's going to be... I think the packages that are offered for him are going to be through the roof.
Yeah,
now, I don't know the other team's commitment to keep him long term. The Mets are going to have. Now, maybe you don't have to give up McLean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why can't you just give? You could pick anybody else but him, whether it's Sproat, Entong, Jet Williams Carson,
the first baseman we're talking about.
Mauricio,
I'm sure they'll strategically try to do that, as they should. Hold on to their guy. But what if the Tigers collect all the different offers and they're like, all right, they call the Mets back, which would make sense because they're not in the same league, so you could from a Tigers perspective, you're not going to trade him to the Yankees or Toronto or the Guardians or whatever. You got to get him in the NL if you can. And you call the Mets up and say, hey, listen, we love the deal. We just have to do one thing. We got to flip Tong for McClain or McClain for Sproat. Do the Mets say no?
Here's why I would. It's 1 year of control. I'll wait a year. I would tell them, thanks for doing business. You could kiss my ass. Go trade him somewhere else, and good luck getting whatever you get back for him. And the Tigers may not care, but then the team that's going to trade for him also has to think, well, I'm giving up all this, and the Mets are going to be looming with their pockets. Like, the Mets are going to have some leverage here because of Steve Cohen willingly or going to be willing to cut that check, where I would not give up McClain, and here's why. It's not because I think McClain's going to be some stud, although I do believe in him, and it's not because I'm also afraid to give up something. I think it would be reckless and just flat out stupid to give up a pitcher that showed the potential of McClain with the years of control that you have with him for a guy who's going to be a free agent in the year.
But that's why he's appealing to Detroit. Now, I don't know how many other teams have somebody like McClain, but I promise you there's somebody out there that might be willing to do it.
Maybe they would, but to me that would be foolish. And also it defeats the purpose. Like, getting Skubal will be a home run. Having Skubal and McClain, now you're talking about a real rotation where you have a number one and a number two.
I get it.
And then you could have Clay Holmes as a number three. I'm just throwing it out there.
Or the closer.
Peterson,
let Diaz go.
Well, whatever.
You good?
Yeah, I don't care how they worked out.
That's $75 million. That's money, though, for Diaz.
I'm not worried about the money.
Well, but at some point, Coleman's meaning, not 70, I don't know why there says 75 mil, but Diaz is making a lot of money.
Right.
You let him go, if you do, and you give Holmes the closer role for a year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can spread the money around in different spots that you guys need.
I'm not even worried about the money because Steve Cohen will spend the money. I'm worried about just building a normal rotation. You don't need three aces, but you do need one. The Mets have five fifth starters, basically, or five number fours. No, well, you need a number one. You could have a number two with McClain. So if you get Skubal, McClain, now you're starting, and the rest should be easy. Stearns can put together a 3-4-5. Getting the ace is going to be the hard part. Keeping McClain, he would be the number two. So that's why I wouldn't give him up. And specific, like if you said Skeens, different story.
You give up
McClain.
Okay.
Because
he's younger, first of all.
And he's under control for years.
He's younger, yeah.
So
Skubal's going to be 30, right?
28. No, I think it'd be 29. He's 28.
Yeah, I mean, you wish he was a year or two, but you still do it, of course. I think that...
And he's the best pitcher in baseball outside of Skeens.
He fits. I mean, there is nothing, and we saw this with Doc, obviously, with the Cape placards. You got a strikeout pitcher. I mean, it's a different juice.
Yeah.
Think about Schlittler for the Yankees in the playoffs, the way that place was going bonkers. Skubal is amazing, and he's got... He'd flourish here. He would not melt.
Think about it. Whatever the package that they want outside of McClain, and by the way, McClain shouldn't even be looked at as a prospect at this particular point. Is there anything the Yankees would trade that you would trade Schlittler for at this point?
Schlittler, I got to tell you, with the uncertainty with Rodon, and I got to see where Garrett Cole is, Schmidt not come back till August. I don't want to say never, because if you could get me like a right-handed hitting speed 20-something-year-old, I would entertain it, but Schlittler's the guy I'm looking to hold on to.
For me, outside of, that's the point. Like, there are certain guys where it's like, no, we're trying to win a World Series. Like, you can't have this piece. Or you go to the Knicks argument with Giannis. Like, oh, yeah, that's great, Giannis, but are you giving up Brunson or whatever?
No, they already said he's untouchable.
Well, that's what I mean.
You give up Cat. So you give up the next best guy.
Well, fair enough. So there's certain guys that's untouchable. If I'm the Mets, and I think that they are, Martino reported that McClain would be untouchable for me. Matt is calling from Lincoln, Nebraska. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys, you basically hit on every point I just had about Skubal, but really how I look at it is it's, number one, not going to happen, and number two, I don't think it is the right move. Now, let me just say, of course I want to reach Skubal on the Mets. They need an ace. But I can also recognize that they were not solely just an ace away from being a World Series team this past year. And that's not also including the need to re-sign Pete Alonso or replace his production and re-sign Edwin Diaz and fix the rest of that bullpen.
Yep.
So why trade for a guy who is guaranteed to hit free agency? He's a Scott Boras client. He is going to free agency. He is seeking a record-breaking deal, maybe north of $400 million. And, oh, by the way, he's entering his age 29 season. Do you want to commit 10 years to a guy for his 30s?
Oh, he's getting 10. He's getting 10, Sal? 10?
That's probably what he wants. Oof. He might. I mean, think of the comps. It's going to be Yamamoto and probably Cole. Boras is going to want to beat that.
And the Yamamoto one, sorry, Sal, but the Yamamoto one, the only other big-name free agent starting pitcher Stearns ever pursued since becoming Pobo of the Mets was Yamamoto.
Yeah, but that's also Cohen. Yeah.
And he was 25 at the time of his free agency, not 29.
Okay,
That's it, guys. Appreciate it.
No, good call, Matt, and thank you for the call. But just because you have other holes to fill, like, don't worry. Steve Cohen and Stearns know that. They're going to figure it out. This is more, I know that you hate to give up the prospects, but who knows what the prospects? Like, you need an ace. We know that they need an ace. Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball, or at least the best pitcher available right now. If
that's not even
close
by far.
Well, I'm saying if Skeens is not available.
He's not available yet, yeah.
Would you rather pay, what's it going to cost to get Framber Valdez or Ranger Suarez?
Yeah.
Would you rather pay the $180 million or $200 million for those guys, or trade and then sign Skubal to a $380 million contract?
I could actually present you the other way, because and Valdez can't shine Skubal's shoes, even though he's very good, but you're just giving up money.
Yeah.
So I
want the best player.
I got you. I mean, listen, the other thing, too, is...
Because I think that's how you get in trouble. Well, that's how, like, Stern... Well, yeah, Framber Valdez is good, and he's only going to cost this much, so even though Skubal's better, the cost-effective... take that and throw it in the garbage. Who's the best pitcher? Go get him.
I respect it.
That's what I want.
I respect it. Now, if you think McClain is going to be a top 10 pitcher very soon, then he could be one, Valdez too. But I get where you're coming from. Here's the other thing, too. So, good caller, and he brought up, maybe Pete's production having to be replaced and Diaz. So, basically what he said was, well, why would you get Skubal when you're not a World Series team yet? Why did the Mets get Keith Hernandez in 83? Now, I know it's a totally different financial world, okay? But Keith had won the MVP a couple of years before that. The Mets were trash. They were a doormat for 7 straight years. They were unwatchably bad. They made it. It changed the culture. And the other thing, too, is, you might lose Pete, you might lose this, whatever, but you're going to have McClain for 20 more starts. Yeah. Like, so you're also losing things, but you're gaining things, too. You're also, like, it's not just, they lose Pete, so they're going to get Skubal. No, they're going to get more. Yep. If they do let Pete go, they're going to replace him with somebody, and multiple somebodies. They're going to change the look of the team here. And they are in their window for a World Series. I know they missed the postseason, and you could say, well, how are they going to win the World Series? Nobody thought they were going to be in the NLCS 2 years ago. Nobody thought the Blue Jays were going to go from worst to all of a sudden on the doorstep of a World Series. Like, the way the landscape of baseball is, the Mets could be in the World Series next year. That's not far-fetched. They're going to make the right moves here. They need an ace. That's definitive to me. So I would go all in. I think that there's some going to be, well, why not just wait a year and pay him as opposed to giving up the prospects? I don't care about the prospects. The only one who I'd want to keep would be Benj, only because they have a hole in center field that apparently he might be able to fill. But guess what? If you move on from him, then you have to go get a center fielder. Like, this is not rocket science here. They got to build a ball club. They have the resources to do it. Figure it out. It's not that difficult. When a player like Skubal becomes available, you said it before, BT, the Mets got to be in on him. As simple as that. Yeah, and it's not like, well, I'll just play slow roll and I'll play poker for an hour. Like, they've got to sit down at the table, known as the Skubal sweepstakes, and let the dealer know I'm here all night. I'm not leaving until, I see cards flipped. The Yankees did it with Soto, 2 years ago, whatever, and it worked out great. They got to the World Series with it. Yeah, but then he left. And, you also gave up a really good pitcher, but you still do it. Whatever. You respect the fact that they went all in saying, we're going to take our chance here, going to get Juan Soto and help us try to win a World Series now, regardless of it, and try to re-sign him. Soto ended up leaving, but they still got to a World Series. And then guess what? He left, and they built it up anyway, to the point where they got to the postseason. Like, that's the idea. BT and Sal on the Fan. Nick Costos when we come back. All right. Hey, guess what I drove into the city today, Sal? Not my XT6, which I've been doing for years. How about a little Cadillac Escalade IQ? Because I finally figured things out. Like, I'm just driving around the neighborhood, and every time I'm like, I'll get him at practice. I'll go get milk. I'll go get bread. I'll go get... I'm just making excuses to jump in this car and ride around. It is absolutely insane, to the point now where I figured this out last night. My wife figured this out. You can get a massage. Dude, it's absolutely ridiculous. I am getting massages while I drive. They've got the knee. They've got 5 different options. I hope the Optic has that. Well, you got to figure it out. It took me a little bit, but it just looks amazing. It purrs like a kid, and it is sick. 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance, others for the range, and some obviously because it's a great way to make an entrance. And the Escalade IQ, it's just... I don't think I've been in a car like this. It's insane. 3 different ways to turn every drive drive into an occasion. So, whatever the reason is, let's take the Cadillac's a good thing to say, Sal.
I'm actually going to be saying that this weekend. I have some time coming up tomorrow, no work or whatever. I'm going to play around with it and tell my wife, let's take the Cadillac. It's the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You got the Escalade IQ. That's what you were talking about. The Vistic. I have the Optic. It looks sick. I can't wait to get inside of it and run that thing around. And the Lyric. That's what I drove last year, and I enjoyed it. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Keith McPherson at night on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
The Giants won the draft, and I said that on draft night, getting Abdul Carter, trading back up to get Jaxson Dart, who they specifically wanted. And obviously you've got the ties with Ole Miss and Eli, and he wanted to be here as well.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Notre Dame and USC's legendary rivalry game faces an uncertain future. This weekend may be their last scheduled game as they clash over location and scheduling amid conference shifts. Notre Dame wants annual on-campus games. USC worries about travel and playoff implications. Both want to keep the series alive, but how and when remains up in the air. I'm Maggie Gray.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person paying the bill. Additional terms apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
NFL Sunday's coming. You've got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop, and now we're making it even better because this week FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account, because that's what Sundays should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Gio to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. That's FanDuel.com/GIO. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Ray Catino Lexus of Freehold is the largest Lexus dealership in central and southern New Jersey.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at terraorigin.com and select retailers.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires to keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's out back on the Fan. Right now on the line is Nick Costos, host of You Better, You Bet, an Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. Insider calls are presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Check the latest lines on the BetMGM app. Catch You Better, You Bet weekdays 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern, and You Better, You Bet countdown to kickoff Sundays 11 to 1 Eastern, leading you up to kickoff on the BetMGM network on the Odyssey app. I listen to them every Sunday at 8 a.m. on the Fan as well, getting me set for whatever week it is in the NFL. And obviously it's week 7 in the NFL, and a big game, Nick, a rarity, a big game for your Giants.
Oh, great to be on with you guys. Happy Football Friday. Very excited for this game. One of the Giants' biggest games, it feels like, in a number of years. And the Giants touchdown dogs in this game coming up on Sunday in Denver. And I think the line is probably just perfect. I don't know if I'm going to bet the game. I haven't bet it yet. If I do, I actually do think I'm going to take the points with the Giants, with the thought being that I think the Giants' defensive line can impact this Broncos offensive line and really make life difficult for Bo Nix in a way that the Jets kind of did last week. Like, the Jets' defense was not the reason the Jets lost the game last week. If the offense gives you anything, the Jets win that game. I think you could maybe get a little something from Jaxson Dart here. Now, I don't think the Giants will win. Do I think they could keep the game close? Maybe. I want to wait to make my bet on this game until Sunday morning. No wagers placed yet. My lean would be to take the points with the Giants.
If it goes in a direction, is some late money going to come on the G-men to shave it down to 6.5, or the other way, 7 and a hook?
My guess, BT, is that we will stay at 7. But if it were to move, to answer your question, I think it's more likely to come off of 7 and go down to 6.5.
I would agree.
I think the Giants will be the preferred betting side in the game. You know, like, Bo Nix hasn't played great this season. It's a big point spread. The Giants at least have a good defensive line, and Jaxson Dart's looked pretty good thus far. And I think that's a recipe for people to want to take a full 7. Doesn't mean the Giants will cover, but that is my guess, that the Giants will be the preferred betting side.
I agree. Now, listen, if Denver was putting up 35 a week, you know, first of all, it's not a 7-point spread. It's probably 7.5 or 8 going in, maybe more.
Well, I see it's 7.5 right now.
Is
on
it
the
up
score?
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It got bumped up.
Where we do our picks with. Go ahead.
I look at it this way, though, Nick. So the Denver defense is obviously way ahead of the Denver offense. So if the Giants defense could do a good job, you know, similar to the Jets, as you point out, I don't think that I mean, you could get, you know, you can still get routed, but I think the odds of the Giants getting stomped are fairly low. And I don't think the offense has to have a great game to hang. I think they just merely have to have a competent game. You agree?
Yeah, I worry about that happening. The Giants offense having a competent game, which is not to insinuate that, like, Jaxson Dart hasn't been fun and Cam Skattebo hasn't been fun. It's a brutal matchup going up against this Broncos defense. Now, Dart is infinitely more competent than Fields. Like, the three of us are more competent than Justin Fields. So Dart's not going to take the sacks that Fields took last week. Obviously, made the worst quarterback in the league.
All right.
One of the worst. I mean, is it one of the worst quarterback games in the history of football? It is,
going.
right?
It was
horrible.
You ain't wrong.
So Dart's not going to do that, but the Broncos have allowed no rushing production to quarterbacks this year, and that's obviously been one of the Giants' bread and butter since Jaxson Dart came in. Like, we don't think Darius Slayton's playing. The two wide receiver set's going to be Wan'Dale Robinson and Lil Jordan Humphrey, and you can get away with that against the Eagles when the Eagles' best corner, Quinyon Mitchell, goes out. Like, now here's Patrick Surtain and company. Yeah. How's this going to go? Broncos' run defense is really good. Like, Cam Skattebo is probably going to have 22 carries for 68 yards in this game. I don't see him breaking off a ton of long runs. If the game goes over the total, 40.5, I think the Giants do not cover the spread. I think the Giants have to keep this a low-scoring game and hold Denver down, because we can be as bullish as we want to, and I am pretty bullish on the future for Jaxson Dart and this Giants offense. We can be super bullish in that. I don't know if this is the matchup to expect offensive fireworks from the Giants offense.
And I feel like I've been saying that all week, Nick, because I've watched Denver. I think they were the best team in the NFL, in the AFC, and I think you can make a case that they will turn into one of the best teams. Yeah, I think you can. They have. First of all, they have the head coach. Well, who's got the best defense in the NFL right now?
Well, I'll take the team that has Patrick Mahomes on it.
No,
they're not even the best team in their own division.
Who's got the best defense? I said in the NFL right now.
Oh, okay, great. If the Chiefs played the Broncos in Denver in January, who would you pick to win?
Right now, I think Denver's going to get better. Also, I like the head coach.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question though. If the Chiefs played the Broncos in January, who would you pick to win?
Where's the game?
Denver. You could have home field.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos. See, you're higher on the Chiefs than I am, and that's fair. But right now, Denver's got the best defense in the league. I look at Bo Nix as a quarterback, and I understand what you're saying. Like, he's the one who's preventing them from getting to the next level with a Lamar Jackson, a Mahomes, Josh Allen. I understand all that. But their defense is so good. They've got weapons all over the place. They've got a Super Bowl winning head coach in Peyton, and I think they can continue to get better here and will continue to get better. So I'm projecting it forward. But one thing that I think, and we could argue about it, how good I think they are, how good you think they are.
I bet them to make the playoffs. Like, I came into the year thinking they were good. I'm disappointed in Bo Nix. I thought they would be better than they are now.
Give me the teams that you think are definitively better in the AFC. You gave me the Chiefs. Who else?
Definitively better than Denver. Okay.
In the AFC.
Buffalo.
Buffalo? Come on, dude.
Okay. Like, the Broncos defense, the Bills have Josh Allen.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you?
The Bills just got spent.
No, I'm being serious. Like, do you get it? Because you're taking Denver over them. Do you get it?
The Bills just got the belt to the ass by the Falcons on Monday Night Football.
Okay. And the Broncos haven't been tremendous this year.
Understood.
But they've lost a couple games.
So we got a little carried away there, but I do want to bring it back to the main point. I think that a lot of Giants.
New England?
Come on. New England's not better than Denver.
Drake May's 500 times better than Bo Nix.
Oh, all right, but I'm not saying the quarterback. I'm saying the team.
It's the most important thing.
I'm going to value defense. I'll value defense at a big spot. I'll take my chances with Sean Payton and the weapons that they have all over the place. Point is, I think a lot of people are looking at what Denver did against the Jets on Sunday in London and evaluating them going into this Giants game based off of that game. To me, that would be a mistake.
Well, yeah, and look, I know you guys have talked about it ad nauseum this week, probably just because it's just disgusting to talk about with that Jets offense. The Jets' offensive line was not great in that game. It wasn't. So I'm not going to insinuate that it was. How many of those sacks were Justin Fields' fault?
5 or
7?
6.
At least 6 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. He won't throw the ball. We don't have to turn this into a Fields thing for right now.
He had 4 seconds to throw. 4.
Yes. And you would think that just by virtue of not being Justin Fields, that Jaxson Dart won't do that on Sunday. So, I'm not saying that the Giants are going to get blown out. I'm a little unsure if they're going to be able to cover this point spread. But if you made me bet the game, Sal, I'm with you. I would take the Giants right now. I don't feel that confident in it to put my money on it right now. I hope they win.
Gotcha. All right, so Nick, we'll give you 20 seconds at the end to tell us what you think the Jets will do in terms of covering. But I want to.
Why only 20 seconds?
He's already given up.
Yeah, I have. I'm done. You win. But how about along the lines of what you guys were just debating, the hierarchy right now, the upper structure of the NFL, to me, is as undefined 7 weeks in, 6 full weeks in, as it's been in a long time. The Eagles are crashing. The Bills are crashing. The Ravens are done. I like the Pats, but it's early. I like the Bucks, but it's early. How confused are you outside of Kansas City about the NFL this year?
It's the parity is pretty crazy this year. You're 100% right. I thought Pittsburgh was going to wreck Cincinnati last night. They lost outright. I'm stunned by that result.
Yep.
The Colts are 5-1. To your point, like, do we think like they can keep it up to this degree? I think the Chiefs are. It's kind of like in college football where Ohio State's the best tier of their own, draw a line after them. In my estimation, and I can be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, right? But I feel pretty strongly about this. The Chiefs are number one, draw a line. Like they're in a tier, to me right now, all by themselves, especially with Rashid Rice coming back. The second tier, I think, has to be the two teams in the NFC North, like the Packers and the Lions. And Detroit might lose to Tampa on Monday because they're down like 9 players in their secondary, like all the good players are out. They might lose. I still think the Lions are better than the Bucs. The Packers have been maddening since the first couple games because they play with their food, and they should probably be undefeated. Like the loss and the tie, the loss to Cleveland and the tie to Dallas are ridiculous. But as far as talent goes, like those are the best teams. So I would say Kansas City 1, Green Bay and Detroit in the second tier. I think the Bills have no chance to win the Super Bowl because their defense is terrible, but they've got Josh Allen. The Bills have to be up there as well.
All right, how about the NFC East here? Back to the Giants for a little bit.
Not Denver.
If the Giants win...
There you go, Nick.
Oh, baby, this is going to be bad.
They barely beat the Jets, Sal. You think they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, and I want to bet you, the same way you bet BT with the Jets, we have to have some kind of bet with Denver because I fully believe...
I bet their over-win total. I like the Broncos.
What was it? What was the number?
I'm in on the Broncos.
What was their number?
9.5, right?
9.5.
Yeah, I mean, that's a high number going into the year, but whatever it may be. I like them back to last year, what was, I think, 6.5, and obviously they made the postseason. If the Giants win this week, to me, the sky is the limit. I know their record is tough. 2-4, tough to dig out of that, but if they win, be 3-4. Let's say they beat Denver. Do you see a realistic path? Well, let's say they beat Denver. Do you see a realistic path for them to win the NFC East or at least become a playoff team?
Well, okay, so let's talk about what could happen this weekend in the NFC East.
Yeah.
So the Eagles are favored. I like the Eagles in the game, but they're a 2-point road favorite. They could absolutely lose, obviously, right? The Commanders are right now a 1-point road favorite at Dallas. I actually think the Cowboys are going to close the favorite in that game, because the injury situation for Washington is really bad. They just ruled out Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel hasn't practiced this week.
I saw that.
So I think Dallas might close like a 1-point favorite in the game. Huh? So we could, if the Giants win, like it's not impossible that the Giants win, the Eagles lose, and the Commanders lose, and the Giants are right there in the NFC East. Now, like the fan in me is kind of like getting like it's like borderline sexually arousing to think about that. But like let's try and like be grounded about this, right? Next week on the road in Philly, home San Francisco, at Chicago, home Packers, at the Lions, at the Patriots. I would love, and I feel like people think like I hate the Giants. I feel like I'm a gigantic Giants fan, but I have to be honest with my analysis. Like, do you think they're winning those games? Like they could. I don't think they're going to.
They're not winning both.
I'm not willing to entertain a world where the Giants win the division. I don't even think they're a wild card team in the NFC. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay. Give us those 15 seconds on the Jets. Don't touch it, lay it, or take the point. What are we doing with the Jets?
I don't even know what the spread is in that
I think
game.
it's 1.5, 2.
Okay. Do we think Garrett Wilson's playing?
He's not playing. I don't think he is.
Said doubtful was the last that I saw.
Take the under.
I don't think... Okay. Well, it's gotten slammed down, and it should.
Yeah.
I think if you're betting the game, like I don't know, how do you not bet Carolina if you're betting this?
Yeah,
game?
I think Panthers are going to win. Myself, I do.
Well, I agree.
Right.
Can I give you one prop thought on the Jets, and I'll do this in longer form on Sunday.
Absolutely.
So with Garrett Wilson
Another
out,
fake
right?
punt by the head coach plus 280.
It was the fake punt on 4th and 1. It's almost like what's worse, the end of the first half, which is a 10 out of 10 bad.
Yeah.
I'm on the air doing my national show on Sunday morning, and I see Fields go out there for the 4th and 8 instead of attempting the 61-yarder with Nick Folk, and I'm just in absolute disbelief. Like, Aaron Glenn can still turn it around. This is one of like the worst. It's one of the worst coaching performances in a single game in like the history of the NFL, I think, and I don't think that's hyperbole. The coach-quarterback combo is as bad as it gets. So prop thought for this game. If Garrett Wilson doesn't play, it actually becomes pretty interesting, right, to think about who's catching the ball for the Jets.
Breece Hall.
Now, you could make a case it's Brees. Josh Reynolds, like, ostensibly becomes your number one. Alan Lazard maybe does something in this game. You know who I'm actually intrigued by?
Mason
the rookie
Taylor?
receiver, Arian Smith.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Who got a little bit involved. Here's the thing, right? With rookies, we know Josh Reynolds stinks. We know Alan Lazard stinks. We don't know if Arian Smith is good or bad or somewhere in the middle, and that's the kind of guy I want to bet on.
And we know he's fast. And we know he's really fast.
We know he's fast.
Yeah.
So there are no yardage props on him listed. I'm guessing we get one by Sunday, but I'll spoil this for everyone. I don't even, whatever. I'll bet Arian Smith to score a touchdown on Sunday, and if there's a receiving yards prop listed, I'll bet the over. He can go over in one reception, and given the uncertainty in the rest of the core, I think that's a pretty decent bet to make on the rookie.
It's good value. I would not have even thought. Now, who knows if it's going to happen? That's interesting. Out of the box. Good job.
Steak dinner. I want the Broncos for the division. You could have the Chiefs.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yes, please.
You're on. And it should. I got to get some odds on that, no? 2 steaks to 1, or where are we looking at?
Are you a coward or what?
No. I want it, but I just want double steak.
You proposed the bet.
Yeah, I mean,
you gave the terms of the bet, and now you're welching. I haven't even accepted it yet, and you're already welching.
I'm not welching. I stand by it, but I want to also increase my odds. You're the odds maker.
Sal. Be a man. Your odds are you're up by 1 game right now. You're 4-2. I'm 3-3.
Yeah, I know, but I really should be getting better odds with that.
You have a game on me.
I want Denver to win the division. That's all I want. And
I'll take Kansas City.
Okay, steak dinner. Same bet as you and BT, whatever that was. You get a cash on him for the Jets.
Man, I'm gonna be eating good this winter. Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead, hit us with it.
Wishing you minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck. I love you guys.
Yeah, I love you too, Nick. Costos. That was the host of You Bet or You Bet and Odyssey Sports Betting Insider, Nick Costos. Insider calls presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary for all your betting and sports talk needs. Check out the BetMGM network on the Odyssey app. Perfect parlay pick segment coming up in about 20 minutes. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Chris LaPresti.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1. New York, an Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also sponsored by Ray Cattina, Mercedes-Benz of Edison. The Ray Cattina family of dealerships is proud to be one of the sponsors of the Garmani Boom event, celebrating a decade of hope. Tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., there will be food, cocktails, special guests, and much more, all to benefit the Boomer Esiason Foundation to find a cure for cystic fibrosis. Well, the combo of rookies Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo, all the rage right now. They've certainly got the Broncos talking a bit this week ahead of Sunday's matchup in Denver. How about this explanation from Skattebo on the reason behind the headbutt celebration he enjoys with his quarterback?
Just craziness. Just me and him being crazy, being friends. It's just something like, he has to throw the ball with his right hand, and I have a little, sometimes from stiff arming my right hand will bother me or be bruised up. So I'm like, we just start headbutting. It's just something that you naturally do when you have a helmet on.
Definitely natural thing to do. Meantime, Jets wideout Garrett Wilson listed as doubtful for Sunday's home game against the Panthers, not expected to play on that hyper-extended knee. Baseball Championship Series, the Dodgers going for a sweep of the Brewers tonight in L.A. They've got Shohei Ohtani on the mound shortly after 8:30. Prior to that, Game 5 between the Blue Jays and the Mariners in Seattle, with the ALCS tied at 2 apiece. Kevin Gausman opposed by Bryce Miller shortly after 6 o'clock. Fan weather sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Living in New York is not a spectator sport. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Get back to what moves you with Motion's expert physical therapist. Most insurance is accepted. Schedule an appointment at motionptg.com today. 59 degrees, sunny skies right now in Central Park, and with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris LaPresti.
The Scarlet Knights return home hungry for their first Big Ten win of the season, but standing in their way are the high-flying Oregon Ducks.
Touchdown, Rutgers!
Kickoff is tomorrow at 6:30. The home of Rutgers Big Ten football is WFAN. Brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. And The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey app.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at.
Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The BT and Sal Show on The Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. I saw a quote from Aaron Glenn. I don't know if this was just now.
I was reading the same thing.
Okay, so you saw it.
About getting the ball out?
Yes. So
I actually have it in front of me.
Okay, go ahead. Read it.
Okay, it's a little long, so I'll try to I'll try to cut through some stuff. So he was asked about Justin Fields getting the ball out, and I just brought this up to Nick, where he had 3.9 seconds, which on the average throw, which is, you may as well have an hour. That is an hour in the NFL. So, quote, I know it's a huge topic everybody's talking about, but there's a lot that goes into it. When you look at the time he gets the ball out, some of those have been his best games when he's holding the ball 3 seconds or whatnot. That's who he is. Sometimes his play calls, the way he sees things. I'm not sitting here saying he doesn't need to get the ball out. There's some quick games where the ball needs to come out. You work on that stuff, blah, blah, blah. This is the part that caught my eye, and I'm still formulating my opinion on it.
This is the part that people are going to have an issue with.
Of course, but I do think it might be unfair to Aaron Glenn. Okay, he goes, you look at Lamar Jackson, and his numbers getting the ball out is higher than Justin's. Josh Allen's numbers are higher than Justin's. I just think that everybody tends to see who those guys are and understand that, and for some reason, they don't understand Justin.
Yeah, okay, so the obvious problem is that those guys are MVPs and far better than Justin Fields, and people are now going to say that how is Glenn, what is he out of his mind to even have Justin Fields in the same breath as these guys? And to me, that is going over the top, looking to just nitpick on Aaron Glenn when he's just trying to give you an example. I don't think it was the best example. I would try to steer clear of that.
Yeah.
But come on, man. This is what I mean. Like anything he says, he until he wins, he could do no right.
Mm-hmm. True. I mean, that's why you got to silence this as early as this week. Imagine we're talking baseball here, and whether it's Mendy or Boone, they're like, yeah, so-and-so, I mean, listen, I know he's got a pretty high K rate, but so does Aaron Judge. But one guy's, get to say if they have similar K rates, but one guy's got, one guy's got 17 home runs, one guy's got 62. That's the loose comp with Justin Fields and Lamar and Josh Allen. You're right, though, and that really is the ultimate point with Aaron, and boy, it would behoove him to get a win under his name starting this weekend. Because every little thing, I promise you, whether it's on the show following us by somebody, maybe, or later tonight or on social media, somebody's going to take this and they're going to twist this and make it seem a lot worse than it is.
Or maybe not even twist it, just take their, like, I'm already getting texts about it. I didn't see it on social media. People, because I've been I don't want to say I've been a Glenn defender. I'm trying to bring back things to reality here. I never wanted Glenn in the first place. However, I like his attitude and his mindset. And then some people have an issue with, well, Glenn doesn't want to play the game and acquiesce to the media. I don't give a crap about that. What do you care about whether he plays the game or not? I care about whether he wins the games. That's what matters. But now it's, he's 0-6 and he's not great with the media and he's picking fights or whatever it may be. And they're looking for every little thing to get on him for. Like now it's going to be him compared as if he said Justin Fields is Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. That's not what he said. So you could try to spin it that way and say, well, he shouldn't even be comparing the two. What an idiot Aaron Glenn is. I'm going to defend Aaron Glenn and say that he's not an idiot. He's had a rough 6 weeks, certainly a rough 5 weeks, and certainly a rough last week where he managed an awful game, coached an awful game. We just talked about that with Costos. Let's not make it like it's a huge deal now that he could say, well, those guys hold on to the ball as well. I know it's not the smartest thing, especially now, but come on, guys, get off his freaking back, will you?
It's a rough start. It's been a rough start for Aaron. There's still time to turn this around, but it's got to start now.
Yeah, and also I'll take it a step further, too. I'm not a big Justin Fields fan, but he's not as bad as he was a week ago. He might have been playing Again, I don't want to say he was concussed, but I don't know if he was all there 100% in that game. And he's also playing a very good defense, the best defense in the NFL. I'm not making excuses for him, but let's not go from talking about how great Justin Fields was in week 1 to now Justin Fields is the worst quarterback that's ever walked the face of this earth after last week's performance. There's somewhere in between.
Yeah, and he's getting paid $20 million a year, and only half of that's guaranteed next season as well. Jets could get rid of him, and they'd be on the hook for $10 million. So the price tag is telling you who Justin Fields is.
Right.
Now, if some people thought just because he wasn't Zach Wilson, or if you didn't love Aaron Rodgers, which is idiotic, but if you didn't, and you thought, well, he's not Aaron Rodgers, and maybe you elevated Justin Fields, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I watched him at Ohio State. I remember doing this because the Jets were drafted a quarterback, and I'm like, I don't love the way the ball comes out of it. I didn't love him coming out of Ohio State. I thought he threw to bigger windows, and I'm not a quarterback guru, man, but I've been right and I've been wrong. I've missed things by a mile. I've nailed some things, but I do think that I nailed his deficiency. He's not incredibly accurate, and I remember saying that to Tiki at Ohio State, and I think that that's going to be probably an issue for the rest of his life, but I also think that there's value there if you deploy him properly. I think that he didn't run last week, not because he's still concussed or foggy, but that they're trying to keep him healthy and avoid another concussion. So I think that's part of it.
Also, the Broncos don't let quarterbacks run on them. So it's also a good defense. I would bet, and I'm going to bet the Jets this week. So I would bet that he's going to have a big game on the ground. I mean, he has to. He can't throw the football. So he might have some success through the year, but especially without Garrett Wilson, you wouldn't think he's going to be great through the year. But the Jets can only win this game if they run the football. That's what they got to get back to. Breece Hall, Justin Fields, let them run the football on the Panthers. Get some positive momentum. And if you do have a long drive like they've had before, don't fumble the football on the goal line. Like there are ways here that the Jets could have won easily 3 of these first 6 games. They've lost all of them. It's unacceptable. It can't happen. I don't think it's going to continue to happen. I think they get off the board and get a win this week and at least get people off their back for a week. Take a deep breath. Anthony's calling from Staten Island. What's up, Ant?
I just want to, I don't blame Glenn because I called up when they first hired him in February and said what a disaster he's going to be because you saw how confused he was the last 2 or 3 years with that horrible defense on Detroit. But why wouldn't you sign the offensive coordinator? I called up 3 years ago, hand Harbaugh a blank check. This is the owner. I don't blame Glenn. He's horrible. And you're talking about the way he speaks. He speaks in cliches. He speaks from parcels. I don't want to hear. I want to hear what you think.
Well, that is him.
Yeah, I think that's unfair.
He's being authentic, and people don't like that.
I think Robert Saleh was being a phony.
Right.
Well, right now, Robert Saleh looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, because he's not a head coach. He's the DC again, which is what he is.
Right, exactly. And Glenn was horrible as the defense coordinator for Detroit. He had no clue.
So you don't like him, man. What's... Go ahead.
It's this owner. It's the owner. He wants to be part of the team. He doesn't care about winning. Has no interest. He would have signed an offensive coordinator. He would have signed Harbaugh. Hand him a blank check. This is going nowhere. They're going to go 0-17. Why do you think
they're not going 0-17. And listen, I got you. No, good call. Listen, you're pissed off, and you should be. Understood. The problem with being pissed off is that you contradicted yourself 3 times there. Honestly, and I'm not coming at you, Ant, but you did. Number one, you say that, and Woody, I have just destroyed Woody. Not personally, but he's terrible. He's the worst owner in pro sports, in my opinion. And the Jets are the worst franchise. But to be fair to Woody, when you say he doesn't want to win, well, then why does he spend money?
Yeah, why did he trade for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, not only trade for Aaron, fly out there. He was part of the convoy and basically beg him and convince him, along with obviously Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh when they went to his estate in California. Like, the man tries to win. He doesn't know how. Those are 2 very different things. So I think that you're off with that. I also think you're off with the Aaron Glenn stuff here. I've heard a lot of coaches speak in cliches, and I'm like, man, this guy is dead man walking. I don't feel that way about Aaron Glenn. Now, I'm not going to sit here and boldly proclaim that he's going to be the one to eventually lift the Jets out of the ashes or the gravesite here. But I'm going to give him a little more wiggle room and rope to figure out how to work around the weaknesses of this team that he inherited. They were really bad.
Right, but then, there were expectations coming into the year that some people thought that they were going to be good or should be good. 0-6 is not good. Nobody expected that. And now it's gotten to a point where it continues to get louder and louder and louder, which makes it more difficult and more impossible for Glenn to dig out of this. If he were 1-5, if they had a couple of wins, it wouldn't be, even if he made some mistakes, people would be like, whoa, I don't know about that from Aaron Glenn, but at least they have a couple of wins on the board. It's the combination of everything. On top of that, the way that he handles himself and the media, people don't like that. And when you're losing, you're not going to get away with the tough talk. I don't mind the tough talk. I like the tough talk. I think he's got to stick through with being himself. The only way, though, that will work is if he actually starts winning. Mm-hmm. He's got no shot otherwise. They have to start winning.
Listen, you and I agree about him remaining true to who he is,
yes.
Right? But where we splinter off, and this is my thing, but this was earlier in the week here. Like, it's one thing to go in there. We're not the same old Jets. We're the Jets. We're built for this bleep. I loved it. You know, to me, I get all fired up over that stuff. I love that, right? Because I think it galvanizes a team that's been dead emotionally for a long time. And it hasn't yet, but I thought that it would. All right, so I'm always down with that approach rather than the cerebral, quiet, withdrawn, Adam Gase, nerdy stuff. But where I do disagree with you is he cannot have... And if he does, he can't communicate it. Centrally on his mind, what we're going to say about moves that he makes. And the other day, and again, I'm not crucifying him for it because I got his back and I believe in him, but it's really my way of trying to help him. Like Aaron, when you tell reporters and you tell the entire world by extension that your quarterback would get crucified by us or by them or however he framed it if he throws an INT thrown downfield, that is basically saying to us that you are calculating what we think. And you shouldn't.
Or at
on
least
no level should Aaron Glenn give a rat's behind what you think, what I think, what Hop thinks, what Evan thinks, what any other Jet fan thinks, what Samini thinks. Nobody except what Aaron Glenn thinks.
100%. But he's still learning that as a young head coach. He can't believe that it's everybody's turned on him in just 6 weeks. Like, what'd you think he was? In his mind, he's like, what'd you think I was going to be able to do? Turn this around? I'm not saying it's right. I think what he's saying, there's a lot of truth to everything that he's saying. Nobody wants to hear it, and he's not getting away with it because of their record, but he also has to be above it. He will learn eventually that he's got to be above it. You know, Rex Ryan came onto the scene talking tough right out of the gate, and people ate it up. And then he went out there and won, even at 9-7.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah.
So it's not the tough talk that's the problem. It's not questioning the media that's the problem. It's the losing that's been the problem. Antonio calling from Manhattan about the Mets. What's up, Antonio?
You know.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, man. Look, Sal, you know I like you a lot, but I disagree with no way. Look, as far as Skubal, you know what the Mets should be doing? They should be re-signing Pete and then Diaz if he opts out. And then what they should be doing is trading for Steven Kwan. Basically, what I want is I want Soto, I want Pete, I want basically a good lineup. And basically, look, I think as far as what they should do, they should go into and sign Ranger Suarez or Frambel Valdez. They should sign him. But look, this is crazy. You're not going to give up for 1 year control. I mean, I understand your logic about seeing.
I don't think you do.
New York.
I don't think you do, Antonio.
Remember this. So, this is a guy that hasn't thrown over 110 pitches in his entire career. They've been limiting him. But they've been limiting him. Why?
Antonio, hold on a second. You could have your opinion and say you wouldn't want to trade for a guy who's 1 year away from free agency. Let's not get into knocking Tarek Skubal, who's arguably the best pitcher in the game, and the only one you could even say would be close would be Paul Skeens. I mean, I know Crochet's good. Skubal's been that dominant. He's going to win the Cy Young again. Like, you can't knock Skubal. So if he's the best pitcher, certainly the best pitcher available, unquestionably one of the best in the game, why wouldn't you want to add him?
No, I understand your logic here, but this is my point. My point is, not only that, you don't have to pay him $400 million.
It's not your money. Forget about it. It's not your money. They're going to pay him. Okay, so why wouldn't you want him? Money's not an excuse.
No, because it's going to limit you in the future. So look,
you'd rather pay Pete Alonso than Tarek Skubal?
Look at the things that are alive right now. Tell me which of them has a dominating pitcher. None.
Antonio, are you watching?
I mean, Ohtani's pretty good.
Are you watching?
And by the way, Scherzer, how about Scherzer last night? Oh, my God.
The Dodgers had Blake Snell and Yamamoto throw basically back-to-back complete games. Snell should have, and his manager didn't let him, and Yamamoto did.
Yamamoto.
I mean, the Dodgers have as dominant pitching as there is, and they're going to win the World Series again in all probability. Come on. Which team has dominant pitching? You don't need 5 aces. You need a starting pitcher, for goodness sake.
You do. You need that guy. Listen, I do think that it's not either or, but like the Alonso, I don't say or here, Skubal thing, has to be pretty split. I would get Skubal.
I don't even think,
where I stand.
I think anybody, and I'm going to try to say this as kindly and respectfully as I possibly can. I think anybody that says that they would rather invest in Pete Alonso than Tarek Skubal has their head so far up their ass, it is impossible to dig out. Yeah. That was as respectful as I could possibly say.
Yeah, pretty respectful.
Come on, you can't. Now, I want Pete back.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it.
No, I do.
I know you do.
But I would invest in Pete's power to combine that with Soto. I would look to move on from Lindor and or Nimmo, both, if you could. It's not possible, but that's what I would look to do. And then go build the team out the rest of the way. Obviously get an ace in Skubal. But if you had to choose one or the other, like you want to bring the team back and not get Skubal? Are you out of your mind? What do you think's going to change? And I love Antonio. He's a passionate Met fan.
Yeah,
great caller.
Phenomenal.
And I'm not saying he's going to be alone. I'm just saying that is a foolish thing. The only argument would be you don't want to give up the prospects. And even that, I would push back on. But that's the only argument against Skubal at all.
Mets got to change a lot this offseason.
Come on.
And not just the coaches.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Perfect parlay pick segment when we come back.
Oh, God, I've been terrible with that. I'm getting trounced. I got some winners today, though. All right, hey, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the one before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That is ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
This is science. You can't bet against a coach who wears a fishing vest.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
They are a much better defense than I gave them credit for before the season started.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. We're going to the ACC after dark and taking Cal to lay the 8.5 against Jordan Hudson's boyfriend and the UNC Tar Heels. The Bears are 4-2 on the year and have a freshman quarterback who's been really good so far this season. But this is really about fading Carolina. They're more of a reality show than a football team, and that canceled reality show proves they can't even do that well. Take Cal to win big and lay the 8.5. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax
Stress relief advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's cross-climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin cross-climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When at one hospital, Montefiore Einstein get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey guys, if you're ready to pop the big question, discover why 5 generations have purchased their diamonds from H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Since 1910, the Gross family has been the place Long Island gets engaged, and where you'll find all the latest styles and rings and a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds. Save yourself all the hassle and come to H.L. Gross, where you'll get the guaranteed best price, as well as the best education and guidance in picking out the perfect ring. H.L. Gross Jewelers, Long Island's premier bridal ring store at 840 Franklin Avenue in Garden City, or at hlgross.com.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, BT and Sal football picks brought to you by Cash App.
It is the perfect parlay pick segment, week 7. So far, I am way out in front of you and Hoff, BT. I have 80 points. Hoff has 40, and you have 25 to cash out some parlays here. A 2-team parlay is 25. A 3-team is 50. A 4-team is 100. Plus, we pick the winner of the Jets and Giants each week with no spread. That is worth 5 points. So far on the week or on the year as well, the overall record, I'm 11-6. Hoff is 10-12. You are 6-12. So you got some work to do here, BT, as we head to week 7.
Talk about belt to ass. Belt, meet my ass. Let me get a little music here. I got to change this. I've been wretched. I got to own it. I'll take the L. They can leave the L chain in here for the Evan and Tiki show. I've been morbid. I got a 3-spot for you today. Hopefully this gets me off the ground here. Get a little momentum as we start moving toward the middle of the season. First up, And I checked, I did a very thorough, in-depth weather report and weather analysis on this, and I'm being serious.
Oh.
Miami is, you see, what I did was I looked for a very low over-under. Now, the Jets is very low. That's 41.5. I'm not touching anything of that game at all. The lowest is 36.5. That's Miami at Cleveland. Now, we just saw the Brownies, and we know both teams obviously having issues. Do you know that there's going to be 50 to 60 mile-per-hour gusts in Cleveland? Yeah, I mean.
That's why.
Yeah, 95% chance of rain. Forget about field goals. Even point after is going to be, big-time roll of the dice. You're going to get a lot of runs. You run, tick, 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 tick. Not as many possessions. Give me the under. Miami at the Brownies, 36.5. Now, I think everybody, while I understand it, and I've kind of said this a little bit as well, I do think everybody's just a little quick to bury the Eagles here. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, to the chagrin of Giant fans, of course, are about to get a little right here on the road at Minnesota, and they are laying 2.5. They are favored, not quite the 3, although it's on you get 3 for being at home. So really what they're saying is Philly's basically 5.5 better than the Vikes to win by a field goal. Dome, get the field goal, good kicker. I think the offense opens up a little bit. Maybe Saquon gets nuts. Philly, minus 2.5 in Minnesota, and a little more NFC East juice for you. Dallas, I think Costos actually brought this up too. Dallas is minus 1.5, hosting the Commanders. We got the news earlier today. McLaurin's is out. Terrific wide receiver. They're really banged up, the Commanders are. So I'm going to take Dallas and that prolific offense. Yeah, some head-scratching moments so far this year for Dallas, but I'll lay the 1.5. I'll take Dallas to beat the Commanders. So in summation, week 7, got a little trio spot for you. The under, 36.5. Miami at Cleveland. Give me that. Philly, minus 2.5, getting right in Minnesota. Dallas, minus 1 and a hook as they host the Commanders, and they will get the win.
All right, there you go. BT, week 7. Hoff, what do you have here?
All right, so I have no idea what I'm doing this week. It feels like the games are all a little misplaced. I'm not feeling it at all, so I'm going to go for a 14 teaser.
Oh, my God.
By the way, I actually wait for your music to hit.
Yeah.
I always like the way it's.
So this is actually a cover of a Kiss song. I actually don't like Kiss a lot, but I like this song.
But you got to recognize.
I was going to play Role Models version of this song, but I thought it was a little too dry. So you never saw Role Models? You look at me,
I don't even know. No, the movie? Yes, I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Well, we know your picks for music are very good.
Oh.
How about the picks for football?
I kind of just care about the music at this point.
Well, the picks for football have been asked.
I'm gonna run down quick.
Built too.
I'm going to Chicago, minus 4.5 over New Orleans, because I think New Orleans is just terrible. I think Chicago is kind of finding their way. So minus 4.5, Chicago. New England going to Tennessee. Vrabel going to just completely stomp a new head coach. Who is the head coach in Tennessee?
Let's see. Callahan's out. I don't even know who it is.
The former Chargers coach. What the hell is his name?
Yeah,
Anthony
he's going to get an
No.
he's going to get a belt to the ass.
I forget his name.
The blonde hair. I know you're talking about.
Mike McCoy.
Mike McCoy.
Yes,
Yeah,
McCoy. Good call.
DED dead, and that's what's going to happen to them. New England minus 6.5 at Tennessee. I am going to go to MetLife. BT.
Yeah, he like you guys are going to react to this. Yeah,
I'm going to MetLife.
Go to MetLife. Stay in MetLife.
Carolina with the points, minus 1.5 over New York Jets, because they're going to win the game.
Good pick.
And then I'm going to Denver. New York Giants with the points, plus 7.5 I have at Denver.
When are you leaving, tomorrow or tonight?
Tomorrow, like 11.
All right, man. He's going to be out there.
All right. Hit me with it, Dove. Yeah. I'm going 4-teamer. I'm feeling good. I'm going for the kill shot. Eminem's birthday. Happy birthday, Slim Shady. Kill shot. I'm going for it right here in week 7. First up, give me, on Eminem, so give me the Lions. Monday Night Football, minus 5.5. I think the Lions bounce back in a big way. I think the Bucs are good. I don't think they're Lions good, especially on the road. I could see the Lions easily winning that game by a touchdown or more. Give me Detroit, game number 1, minus 5.5 to beat the Bucs and bring them back down to earth. Game number 2, I'm going to go to L.A. I want the Chargers over the Colts. I think this is the Colts coming back down to earth as well. Chargers just a tougher team, better coach team. I know the Colts have been good. Can't take away from them. Chargers getting a little bit healthier. Quentin Johnson back this week. Chargers only laying 1.5. I think they beat the Colts, so I'll lay the 1.5 at home versus Colts game number 2. Okay, now is where it gets fun. Let's go to MetLife. And you know I've been talking about the Jets all week. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, or my picks where my mouth is. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm taking the Jets. Aaron Glenn's going to silence the critics at least for a week. Justin Fields as well. Running the football. Run the football. Play sound defense. Stop with the stupid penalties. They cleaned it up last week. Build off of that. Get a win. Exhale. Jets plus 1.5. They beat the Carolina Panthers for win number 1. Final pick of the 4. We're going to Mile High. We're going to Denver. I've been 100% correct on the Giants so far this year, every step of the way. Unfortunately, this is a bad matchup for them. It's a lot of points. It was 6.5 earlier in the week. It's 7.5 now. I'm going to lay the 7.5. I believe Denver is that good. Their defense will slow down the Giants. Little bump in the road. Not a big deal for the Giants. Little bump in the road for Jaxson, Dart, and Skattebo in that offense. Lick their wounds. They'll go back at the Eagles the following week. But I love Denver in this game. They will silence the critics. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Costos. Denver minus 7.5 over the Giants. Lions Monday night minus 5.5. Chargers at home over the Colts minus 1.5. Jets get their first win plus 1.5 over the Panthers at home. And the Broncos beat the Giants by double digits. Lay 7.5 over the Giants at Mile High. So the straight winners, BT, I'm going Jets and I'm going Broncos for the straight head up.
Okay. And by the way, doesn't it feel good when you're on a roll, like when you're scuffling like I am?
Yeah, you're playing
well, you obviously
on your heels.
You start overthinking. I think this, but no, I'm in my own head. I admit it. Give me the Broncos. Give me the Panthers.
Okay, Broncos and Panthers. I have Broncos, Jets. Hop, what do you have?
I have the Panthers, as you know, and I, too, am going the Broncos.
So all three of us don't think the Giants are going to win that game. Jaxson, Dart, lights it up.
Hey, from 20.
I will tell you, all week long, I have been, because I'm thinking about taking Denver in the knockout pool. That's how much I believe in them.
Okay.
But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't scared off a little bit by Jaxson Dart. I think he is frightening. So even though I believe in Denver, I wouldn't be totally stunned if the Giants somehow beat the Broncos.
What are the other pool options for you?
I mean, I could lay up with Kansas City against the Raiders. I try not to take division matchups. Been pretty good so far through 6 weeks. A lot of people have bid it. I would also consider taking the Jets. Like at some point, you have to take a chance.
I mean, the suicide pool.
I mean, that's
week 7.
Hey, look, you don't win by picking favorites. I mean,
yeah, but you hang around by picking favorites.
I mean, not so much. I mean,
for a while, usually
half the pool is out. I mean,
how many dogs have you picked so far? I guarantee none. You probably picked all the first 6 weeks, right?
I'll give you an example. Well, I don't pick chalk, like the chalk favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I've picked underdogs. Yes, the Jets would be probably the first underdog. But last week I took the Raiders to beat the Titans, where the majority of people were on whatever layup game it was. Steelers beating the Browns. I don't know.
I got you.
I just stay away from the obvious. Like the Chiefs are probably going to beat the Raiders, but maybe they don't. I mean, I don't know. That's how you lose these pools, by just saying, oh, yeah, I'll take the team with the 10-point spread, and then you get beat. Or teams that took the Eagles to beat the Giants last week. That's how you lose these.
You know what I'm curious about here? Because the Panthers have no national imprint here. It's not Dallas coming in or the Steelers. I think we're going to see about 25,000, 30,000 empty seats on Sunday. I think that place is going to be empty.
What's the weather supposed to be like
nice.
here? Okay.
It'll be nice. Evan will be there. I know he's going. I've heard him say that. But
the Panthers, dude, come on.
Nobody's traveling to watch them.
The Panthers aren't that. They're looking to win. Sorry, BT. They're looking to win their third game. And like the Panthers aren't that good.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, you think about the secondary market where, like, and I was actually very bothered. You know, at least be there for Aaron Glenn's first game. All right, you made some money back with the Steelers. I'm not going to berate you here. But, you know, the Dallas game, all right, Dallas, a lot of fans. I got it. I mean, no Panther fans, or at least very minimal, are jumping into the secondary market to get these Jet tickets. And it's probably one of the last really nice, warm-ish, manageable fall days in terms of families and pumpkins and kids and that stuff. I bet you a lot of fans say, I'm not coming. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I hope they do go out, because to your point, like if you're not going out to this game for the Jets, when are you going?
I ain't going at all.
You know the diehards will be there.
Yeah.
But if you can't go and think maybe you're going to see the first win of the Aaron Glenn era, like I mean, you can't make an argument for any of the other games to be appealing for the home team.
Oh, my God. All right, so we'll come back. We'll wrap it up. We'll get back to these calls here. It's BT and Sal, 888-808-1019. Evan and Tiki coming up next on a Football Friday. The Giants juice, a little Glenn's got to get one for the Jets. Obviously, the Scoopal stuff for the Mets. Hey, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier immediate orthopedic practice, whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex. Total Ortho has spots throughout Long Island with diagnostic equipment right on site. And now Total Ortho Express offers 4 convenient walk-in service, no appointment necessary. From the field or sports court straight to a top-rated walk-in orthopedic doctor, visit TotalOrthoExpress.com. That's TotalOrthoExpress.com, because time doesn't heal wounds, they do.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I think it also brings out the best in the defense, and it brings out the best in, Kayvon Thibodeau. He may not have a sack or two, but he's made some pretty big tackles last night on Saquon Barkley, who looked like he didn't want any part of that Giant defense.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The Philadelphia Eagles are on a 2-game losing streak. An ESPN report cited an anonymous player who said this season already looking like 2023. If you don't remember back then, Philly started out 10-1 and lost 5 of the next 6. They faced the Vikings Sunday. It's a big game. The vibes got bad in 23. If they drop another game, it could easily be deja vu. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where everyone in the family can choose their own plan and save. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at TerraOrigin.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Huddle up with BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this college football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, live betting, or bet on new markets thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of college football offers found nowhere else. And keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. When it comes to college football, never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions may vary by market. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Ken is calling from Bridgewater. What's up, Ken?
Hey, guys, I just wanted to let you know that the necklace that Dart wears, that's like a good luck charm from a sister. It's not a real expensive one.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much it is, but yes, I was aware that it's his sister's.
Yeah, and just when you guys were talking about, I went to Dick's to try to get a Dart jersey. No Giant stuff there. Jets apparel, 25% off, and it is stocked.
That's it?
Nick is calling from Woodbridge. What's up, Nick?
Hello, Nick.
BT and Sal, how are we doing?
Good, Nick. We're fired up.
This Giants team has got me geeking. We're going to Mile High, and we're putting belt to ass on these Broncos.
Oh, he's ready. A little Mile High club, huh?
Started the trend of the belt to ass reference today on this show. I got to say, Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts, they're at my house last 2 days.
Okay.
Replacing the boiler. Dude, no heat. For the we had to upgrade. Oh, it was,
were you really cold?
Well, I mean, last night was I think in the 50s in the house.
Oh, 50s in the house. You have a fireplace? I don't remember.
We do, but I don't
use
know
it?
how- Yeah, no.
Okay, we do. I come home from work yesterday, the fireplace is on. I'm like, what? At 3:15, I'm like, why is this on?
No, well, it was cold yesterday, and the point was we were like, all right, well, we know we got to do it before the winter, and then by the time everything gets set up between the gas company, whatever it may be, and it takes a couple of days. You can imagine my wife not too thrilled. But anyway, they're doing a great job. It is a really big job. Like I see all the pieces and parts to put this damn thing together. Take the old one out that's probably been there for 40 years, whatever it may be.
Those things are heavy, cumbersome. Is Mitch helping out?
Yeah, no, I should send them over there right now. But anyway, those guys are doing a great job, so we appreciate the help.
There you go.
And looking forward to hopefully getting home tonight and actually having some heat. And now I don't have to worry about it until we got to replace the HVAC system.
I'm never cold. Like I'm the kind of guy, like I will, as long as I have a sweatshirt, right? I will go out, like if I've got to run out in January, I'll go out in shorts. Like if I have to run to the store, like flip-flops and shorts and a sweatshirt and maybe like a skull cap. I'm never cold.
I'd rather be colder than hot because
absolutely.
the blankets and the hoodies and all that. But still, when you're dealing with the wife and all that stuff, it's not pleasant. It is actually cold. All right, BT and Sal, player to watch, sponsored by ELEC 825, building our future. Collars & Co., the original dress collar polo. Who do you got this week?
I try to go sometimes, like, maybe a little less obvious, a lesser known name. I'm going to just go to a big name who's got to start playing better. Jalen Hurts here. And they're one of my picks. I do think Philly's going to win. I think they get things right. Do you really think they lose 3 straight games? I don't, which is why I picked them. But the last 2 games, both losses here, 3 rushing yards and 13 rushing yards. You talk about 16 yards in 2 games, 8 yards a pop. That's not Hurts, and that's not Philly. I think he goes off a little bit.
I'm going to go with one of the local games here, Nick Bonito. He is the best defensive player in the league leader in sacks. He's had that tweet that was deleted talking about how I've never seen a more delusional fan base, and he's matched up with Andrew Thomas. That is going to be one hell of a primetime matchup. Bonito and Andrew Thomas, I'm looking forward to seeing if Bonito's going to basically back up his words here, or Thomas going to shut him down and the Giants send a message. So that will be one player that I'm looking to see if he can continue his dominant season so far. And maybe this for him, doing it against a New York team that's hot right now. Maybe this could put him on a bigger stage as well. I'm not saying that he needs the Giants to take off, but not a lot of people prior to the last couple of weeks are familiar with Benito.
I wasn't incredibly.
That's what I mean. So I think doing it against well, obviously we watched him with the Jets.
With the Jet game, but even before that, like maybe a 1 or 2 week, all right, this guy's having a really good year. But I think on some of the broadcasts, you're starting to hear at least the references like, hey, he's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. You got the Giants. Be a big game. Every Giant fan's going to watch here. It's just fun, too. And speaking of the Giants, I know you saw this. The pictures of Cam Skattebo as a little Pop Warner football player, it's some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. First of all, he's got a mohawk. You were the one who showed me this first. In the mohawk picture.
Sort of the post.
Yeah. How old do you think he is? 8 in that first picture?
He reminded me of your son, Colt, actually, a little bit. He did.
I guess,
that blonde hair a little bit.
Yeah. I haven't let him out of a mohawk yet, but he's had some wacky haircuts. Listen, this kid's a beast. And then there's another picture where he's just complete disregard for his body. This is in the post, the South City. You got to check it out, Giant fans. It's adorable. You'll love it. And it's also, now you understand, like, you don't just become that crazy lunatic. You're basically born that way, and you're that way from day one. And those pictures tell a really good story for him.
I'm really excited to watch these football games, specifically the Giants, obviously, but even the Jets is a little appetizer. One scene if Aaron Glenn could get off the schneid. You're right. You said it earlier. I think it's so true. The Jets need to get a win so they could become less relevant. As odd as that sounds, the more these losses pile up, the louder the noise is going to get, the more relevant they stay for the wrong reasons. Get a win, get people off your back, then they could kind of fade into oblivion a little bit. Maybe Glenn could have some time to build this thing the right way in less of a spotlight, but the more the losses mount up, the worse it's going to be. So we have that at 1 o'clock, not to mention the other games at 1 if you want to get into, and then the nice 4 o'clock. Is it 4:25 or 4:05?
That's 4:05.
4:05 start with the Giants and the Broncos. A rare big Sunday as far as the actual games go in New York, which is tremendous. One thing we didn't touch upon, and I told you about this, but you got to actually watch it. I watched it coming into work. The Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson.
I got to check this out.
Oh, my. Hoff, did you happen to see that yet or no? You maybe just read the headline here?
I heard about it. Didn't read it yet.
Give us a little description here.
So basically, Pablo Torre, Pablo Torre finds out?
He's a pretty good investigative reporter. He's been doing a lot of good work lately.
Maybe one of the most trusted reporters that's going right now in this country.
Fair.
And he got what I believe would be a leaked video from that TV show that they were going to film, and then they canceled it. It's behind-the-scenes footage of Belichick and Hudson dealing with, I don't know, some kind of meeting or whatever, but dude, I was just cringing and just, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. Please get rid of her, Bill. What are you doing? She's trying to talk about how the proper graphics should be up on this board and talking nonsense like some dopey 20-year-old. Well, I don't even know how old she is. What is 22?
I think she's 24.
Like, all right, I get the appeal for Belichick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, but come on, dude. Like, it was everything that you thought was going on with a 24-year-old who thinks she knows everything, trying to tell Bill Belichick what to do or other people what to do or being in control of his life. Like all those reports, that 6 minutes of it. Yes.
Oh, God, I got to watch this. Now, I would think, listen, when you find love, you find love. Whether you're 20, 30, 40 years old, or as long as everybody's legal and consenting, it's all good. But you would think that it would be the other way around. Like Bill Belichick's got the Hall of Fame juice. He's got all the money in the world. You would think that he'd be writing the rules here. It seems like she's writing every rule. Bill, where's your...
I know.
I almost said the wrong... Like, where's your backbone, Bill? I understand it's appealing. You're older.
Bill Belichick.
Wrinkly, hairy. I get it. You can't write every rule at that point, but you got to write a few. I mean, it's not being led around by the nose. You're getting led around, but come on, it looks bad. Have some self-respect, Bill.
He trash-talked Tom Brady. Like, he'd rip everybody known to man, including the greatest quarterback that many people that ever lived in Tom Brady. And yet he's being led around by the you-know-what from this 24-year-old... What's his name? Jordan Hudson?
Jordan Hudson. Let me ask you this.
Nothing against her. Like,
no, not at all.
It's actually, and I'm a huge Belichick fan. You and I have gotten into fights about it. You take Brady's side. I always take Belichick. I believe in the coach. I can't believe what I'm watching. Like, you think anything that's been put on tape from North Carolina this year has been bad? North Carolina football? Gosh. This is the worst 6 minutes of film I've seen from Bill Belichick ever.
Wow. I have to see this. Well, remember the interview? I think it was on Sunday morning, like CB, Good Morning. What are those shows on Sunday morning? I forget which one now. And he was asked a question. Bill was obviously the subject, and she was off to the side. And she's like, nope, we're not answering that. Remember that?
Yes.
I mean, Bill, come on, man. I understand the first month, the first two. You're under the spell. You're under the power. Come on. All right, so let's have a little fun here. Pretend you're not married.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody that you would allow to basically just tell you what to do like she apparently is telling him? No. Nobody? Not even Jessica Biel or...
No.
I don't know.
Like
I'm just
that?
throwing names out here.
No, I'm not.
Young Halle Berry, nothing?
There's a different story to interact with other people, assuming in the hypothetical I'm not married. Yeah, but no, to be to the point where you're being dominated like that in that aspect, dominating in other areas, maybe all right. Not that, like, no.
Have some self-respect, Billy.
Not at this age, and he's 70. Like in my 20s, yes, I was walked all over. You know what I mean? I admit that. Yeah. I was crying after these breakups, like a little boy. Oh, you leave me, I'm worthless. What's going on? And these were women, and I'm like, come on. Now I look back like, you're lucky I even dated you. But I'm 46 years old. There's no way at this point in my life I would let anybody dominate the conversation or dominate things like that at all.
It's ridiculous.
I'm shocked.
Me too. You know what he needs? Like, okay, I know we're having a little fun with everything. What he really needs, he needs his best friend to intervene. Say, hey, Bill, I don't mean go out for a drink. You got to put down a bottle of scotch in the middle of the table, and we're not leaving until this thing is gone. And we're talking, and you're listening, and I'm talking for a little bit, Bill. You got to wake up.
You bring up a great point because when you're in it, you don't realize how bad it is. I've been in those relationships before. The difference is he's a 70-year-old man that should know better. Like I would.
Who's a power figure? Oh. He's always been in charge. You know what? Maybe that's why he enjoys, like, there's a lot of psychological stuff about this, like, a lot of powerful businessmen, sometimes, like I don't want to get nuts here, like, I don't want to get too crass here, but like some
one of those houses, what do they call it?
To dominate, whatever. Yeah. So maybe he's been so used to having the power that there's a part of him that he's enjoying being dominated and pushed around and controlled.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like in certain aspects, maybe if you watch this in this part, like
I got to watch it.
It just was. It was cringe worthy.
I'd rather be by myself
and confirming. Yes,
by myself.
Confirming everything. Like he'd be like, hey, like I respect your opinion on certain things. She's running his life. And it's
into the ground. Finish the sentence.
That's what I mean. Bill Belichick has become a joke.
He has.
The great Bill Belichick has become an embarrassment because of this.
Now, having said that, if Aaron Glenn doesn't get things going and they fire him after 1 year, I'll interview him again this time.
With her?
No, there's no chance in hell she's coming.
Well,
then he ain't coming. Sorry.
Well, all right.